Yeah. You know you fucked up, right? Full time in the house. Let's get it. With so much drama in this day and age, it's kinda hard being full-time MMA, but I somehow, some way, keep coming up with content for my hitters like every single day. Now let's get to this nigga Snoop. Disrespecting McGregor, thinking that shit was cute. Calling Conor a bitch, well what the fuck does that make you? You ain't no big dog, old nigga, you a pooch. And keep it real, Conor didn't even fucking lose. Fuck the Mayweathers, made $1 million off them dudes. And that's in a pillow fight, boxing ain't no real fight. How we get knocked out, still walk out looking like $1 million likes. Snoop, I think you sipping too much gin and juice, cause something's gotten into you. What the fuck you thinking dissing one of the dudes getting you paid? Now a lot of people don't like you, got them on Twitter yelling hashtag Fire Snoop. Bitch! Full time in the house, ayy. Yeah, they wishing, they wishing, they wishing, they wishing, they wishing on me. It's Tony time, bitch, I don't care who's fucking with me. Staying away from tiramisu's a struggle for Khabib. You don't wanna fight, you wanna cuddle with me. My elbows are knives and I'ma cut you with these. I don't really give a fuck who's with me. If this fat fuck will make weights a big mystery. If you were smart, then you would probably pick me. To submit Khabib at UFC 223. To submit Pettis at UFC 229. Tony time. Tony time. I knock out, sometimes I choke. I might be the lightweight GOAT. If my leg didn't get broke, would've probably beat Khabib. Then moved up and fought Woodley. Either wait for GSP. You don't wanna mess with me. Tony time. Tony time. I knock out, sometimes I choke. I done did a lot of drugs in my day, yeah I said it, but I'm still gon' kick your ass. Gustafson, I hope you ready. When I got into the crash, I ain't know the bitch was pregnant, but they treat me like a murderer, so motherfucker critic. Bitch, I'm ready to fight, and we can fight till the death. I'll hit your ass with the right, then with the right and the left, then kick you right in the chest, and have you fighting for breath. And then I'll turn the pressure up when you would try to get rest, leave you no time to adjust. Daniel, I'm coming for the title, so quit hiding your necks, because I'm right at your neck. Yeah, you can try and fight Lesnar, but when you fight him, what's next? That's right, I'm the best. At UFC 232, I'll get my title instead. Bellator, I'm reppin' Bellator, Bellator, Bellator. I'm reppin' Bellator, Bellator, Bellator. I'm reppin' Bellator, Bellator, Bellator. I'm reppin' Bellator. Look, Dana White, you found a fight. You said some shit that I ain't like about Bellator, so now it's time to back it up. Now grab the mic. You slap the fighters with the Reebok deal and treat them like some fools. I ask the fighters how the people feel, so people think I'm cool. Yeah, Scott Coker, baby, you ain't fucking with us. I'm like a stockbroker, baby, and I'm running it up. Go get your pot holders, baby. I'm like the oven to touch, and you can get Conor or Tony, Dana, my Chandler, fucking him up. Whoa, whoa there, Scott. Whoa, what the fuck? Maybe when you smoke your pie, you shouldn't smoke so much. Because I know that you're high. Michael Chandler would die against Conor or Tony. Homie, so don't even try. Now, should I keep it with you, or should I get on your roster? Even Jimmy Smith is just a roster imposter. You got James Gallagher, he just wanna be Conor. You got Rory McDonald only cause we didn't want him. You see, Scott Coker, me and you, we are not kosher. You're not a stockbroker, boy, you're a stockholder. What the fuck were you thinking, sending that shitty diss my way? You need to think before you diss. While you're at it, take these flyweights. Nobody fucking with me, yeah. I'm about to go be Stipe, yeah. Moving up to heavyweight, Yeah, and I am destined to be great. Yeah, and if you didn't know, they call me DC. And there's no one that you know that can beat me. Yeah, I fought John Jones, but was he clean? I don't think so. What's in that PP? Steroids, cocaine, probably weed. Testosterone, dick pills, and speed. And shrooms, and pills, and codeine. Goddamn, John turned into a dope fiend. And Steve Face about to turn into a folding chair. When I fold them up, I'ma win 2 belts and hold them up. On my champ shit, Conor knows what's up, little bitch. What the flying fuck is going on, full-time family? Respect to everyone in the buildings. My dog Stamina MC London checking in. We got Leon Doubleson in the building. We got Valentine Pico Graham T gracing us with his presence. David C, what's going on, bro? He said do Sicko Mode remix. Henry Cejudo, TJ Dillashaw, Sicko Mode. I'm down. What's going on, everybody? Remove Lizard in the building. Full-time family in effect. What's going on? Yo, it's time to talk about some GOATs, man. And, you know, this is one of the few times, like, I actually feel comfortable saying I know who. Without, I mean, you could debate always. Everything is debatable, right? But I feel comfortable saying I know who the greatest fighters of all time are. The men and women. I mean, I think we should have a debate this week. I think we're going to do that because it would be really interesting to hear the argument now, because I think it's Daniel Cormier and Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes, I don't think that's up for debate. And boy, man, she's coming out and she's saying some stuff after that fight. One of the things you see right here, Amanda Nunes says Cris Cyborg had no power at all. Has to wait 2 years for the rematch. Now, I don't know about that, sweetie. Cris Cyborg has knocked out like 17 of her 21 wins. You know what I'm saying? She's knocked out a lot of these girls. But I will say this, man, and dog, Nunes, why'd you have to do it to her, man? I will say this. I did want to go back, because I didn't know exactly how many KO, TKOs Cyborg had. Ah, damn, man, I didn't like doing this to Wonder Boy, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're really doing research or something, or just digging into a fighter's career and resume, sometimes you see some things that surprise you. So I was like, wait. She said Cyborg had no power. Now, for one, from the fight I saw, it looked like Nunes was in trouble in the beginning. It looked like Cyborg caught her, and she had her back against the fence at that point and kind of had to make something happen. And she had the power to knock Cyborg out and rock Cyborg. You know, maybe Cyborg got a little overzealous and a little aggressive. You know, she thought Amanda Nunes was hurt. She tried to capitalize on it, and she got caught. We've seen that happen. But that's not to say Cyborg had no power at all. But what I went back and did is I wanted to know, wait, what is she talking about Cyborg has no power? Hasn't Cyborg been knocking bitches out since back in the day? So I pulled up Cyborg's resume, and I was like, okay, so we know she's been fighting bantamweights in the UFC, you know, like, but I still was curious to look at some of her record and the competition. And I gotta say, dog, it kind of reminded me of when I looked at, like, I don't know, man. Clearly, Cyborg's not overrated at all. You know, she's one of the greatest female fighters of all time. But, man, if you look at strength of schedule, Amanda Nunes has probably had her beat since before this fight. I mean, and of course, hindsight's 20/20, but I'll just show you guys what I'm talking about. I just looked at this, you know, leading up to this show. I was just kind of surprised. Honestly. Okay, so she got in the UFC, right? But I was like, because this is what started it. I seen this name, Daria Ibragimova, because that's who she fought right before she came to the UFC. So I was like, who the fuck's Daria Ibragimova? You know, because I was thinking, okay, so her tougher competition, you know, because when she got to the UFC, she wasn't able to fight featherweights. There was no featherweights to fight Cyborg. The UFC won't invest in the division. So clearly she was fighting featherweights before the UFC, right? So I was like, okay, so this is probably one of her most impressive wins. It's her last fight before the UFC. So I just want to see who this was, Daria Ibragimova, because I've never heard of her. And Cyborg knocked her out in the first round. And I was surprised to see, you know, she had a 9-2 record, so that's impressive. But, and see, this is normally where people take it. If you look one step farther, man, so I was like, okay, so who is this girl beating? I was just curious what her competition was. And when you do that, she beat a girl that was 2-2, and then she fought Cyborg. So this girl was 8-2, but she was fighting cans.
So, you know, so her 9-2 record was padded, and she fought Cyborg. So, I mean, when you look at Cyborg's competition throughout her career, she's really never fought anybody on the level of Amanda Nunes. And I know hindsight's 20/20, but honestly, Amanda Nunes is something else, you know, and we'll see where she continues to go. But yeah, I was just kind of surprised when I looked at some of these people's resumes, you know what I'm saying? Because none of these girls are killers. You know, she fought Cyborg, she was 5-1, but you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, I don't know, I expected to see some sort of like GOAT resume, you know, and so I was a little surprised. But that's just a side note. And what made me think about that really was Amanda Nunes saying she had no power at all. I was like, what? Cyborg's been, you know, what? Cyborg has no power. Tell that to the girl she's been knocking out. So I was like, who has she been knocking out? And that's where that led me. So that was interesting. But man, now looking at it, I think Nunes might win the rematch. I mean, Nunes is actually one of the best fighters of all time, and she's beat the toughest challenges. I mean, if you wanted to nitpick, you could say really Cyborg. I mean, Holly Holm. Aside from Holly Holm, which people, I mean, Holly Holm has been on a losing streak. But aside from Holly Holm, really, who's the most impressive win on Cyborg's resume? You know what I'm saying? So definitely there's not a lot of competition up at that weight. But honestly, I say all that also to say, you motherfuckers that doubt Kayla Harrison are silly. You are fucking silly. Cyborg has been fighting. Come on, man. All of that also, like, a lot. You didn't think that was going to turn into Kayla Harrison? You're wrong. If you're hating on Kayla Harrison and we really dig into Cyborg's resume, come on. We don't need to be talking about competition. We already looked at the first 3 fights on the last show. Now we're looking at the... So, to say that Kayla Harrison has no chance against Cris Cyborg, I think is just silly, especially at this point. But we're going to move on from that. Let's look at what Amanda Nunes had to say in this statement. Because not only did she say that Cyborg had no power at all, she also said that she has to wait 2 years for a rematch. Now, this is almost, I feel, a little trolling. Because her reasoning... her reasoning seems trolly to me, because leading up to this fight, Cyborg, you know, she was ready to fight. Amanda Nunes is the one that wanted time, whether it was to put on the weight or whether it was to prepare for the fight, whether it was to sell the fight. For whatever reason, Amanda Nunes wanted to wait until the end of the year. Cyborg was ready to fight earlier this year. So, Cyborg, I mean, not because she wanted to. She actually was rested coming into this fight. She had a lot of time off because Amanda Nunes didn't want to fight ASAP. So, man, Cyborg got like an extra 3 to 4 months off, you know what I'm saying, to prepare for this fight herself. Which is interesting because she did have, you know, even more time to prepare for Nunes. So, that's just interesting. But with that being said, leading up to this fight, Amanda Nunes, she wanted that year to prepare. And that year was enough, right? And she's saying Cyborg had no power. So now she's coming out and she's saying, well, since I wanted a year to prepare for the first fight, now I want 2 years to prepare for the rematch. It's like, what? Why? A year was enough at first. So now why do you want 2 years? If a year is clearly long enough. So are you ducking the rematch? Because I don't understand why you want 2 years for the rematch. That just and maybe she felt like she was disrespected coming into this fight. You know, maybe she felt like in the lead up to this fight, Cyborg and others made her seem like, you know, she was Team Colby Covington and turned her into a crayonch. And maybe she felt a little disrespected. Or maybe she's ducking the fade from the rematch. But honestly... And yeah, Cyborg, I will say this. She's probably got the best chance right now to beat Amanda Nunes. But other than that, I think the path is pretty clear for Amanda Nunes to reign as the women's GOAT. So, I mean, yeah, you don't have to give her an immediate rematch, but it is interesting to see that she seems to be pulling back from it. You know, so this is what she had to say, though. She didn't hurt me at all. Actually, when she connected the first time, I saw that there was no power at all. I put my hands down and I said, I'm going to go for it. I don't know if you see when I put my head down when she started punching me, but I was more scared of the talk that she punches hard than exactly that she punched hard. You hear a lot of that. She punches hard. She's strong. She has knockout power. But when she landed, I moved my head because I was more scared of being hit than because the punch was strong. So she's saying, like, when she got hit, it wasn't that Cyborg hit her really hard. She was kind of flinching instead. And so when she flinched, it looked like the hit did more because her head moved. But she's saying that's because she was scared of it. All the talk, oh, the baddest woman of all time, unbeatable, Cris Cyborg, 145 pounds, can't make weight, 135, biggest, baddest ever, no one's ever going to beat her, no chance. All of that, all the talk, the hype that surrounded Cris Cyborg, more than the actual power she felt. And what's interesting is people thought Amanda Nunes might not have the power coming into this fight. But Amanda Nunes saying, actually, she didn't hit me as hard as I thought it was going to be. And then that's interesting. Now, is she trolling there? You be the judge. I don't know why she... Amanda Nunes don't come across as somebody that's out here lying and just talking shit. Honestly, I don't even know if Amanda Nunes reads the press or the media. If someone, unless somebody asked her, I don't even know if she's been called a crayon leading up to this point. Like, if you listen to her interview, she's not thinking about nobody being negative. She ain't thinking about the naysayers. She don't even think about the haters. She don't address them. She ain't saying, oh, I beat all the haters. I did this for the haters. She don't even think about that shit. But it was interesting to hear her say that. She continued to say, Cyborg doesn't want to fight me if it takes more than a year to prepare. And right now, I don't think she's going to want it because I'm going to ask for 2 years to be ready for her again. She said I wanted 1 year to be ready for her, and she didn't want to wait much. She don't want to stay without fighting. But right now, I'm asking for 2 years for the rematch. And maybe she's playing a little chess here. Like, okay, Cyborg, you want to be super active? You want to fight? Well, I want some time off. Let's see if you still want to fight. Because if you want to fight now, you're going to be fighting contender until I'm ready to rematch you. Pretty much, you're going to have to earn your keep. You're going to have to beat a couple girls, but you're going to have to earn your rematch with me. That's what she's saying. And, you know, does Cyborg deserve a rematch? There's two sides to that coin. I mean, Dana White and others have been hesitant. Nunes, even Nunes' coach. Everyone's hesitant on their side. So unless, it'd be you would need a lot of fans to really back Cyborg. It's probably not going to happen. An immediate rematch. I mean, unless the MMA gods want it to happen. But it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. And so, with that being said, what is Cyborg going to do? Her contract is up. Does she re-sign with the UFC, not knowing if she's going to get a rematch? Does she go to Bellator, where she actually probably would be? They've already got a featherweight division they've been building. The Bellator's featherweight division is arguably more impressive right now than the UFC's. 100%. They got, Julia Budd, Toledo Nogueira. Like, they've got some featherweights over there. I don't know if any other organization can say that. We've got women's featherweights. PFL, women's lightweights, that's fucking unprecedented. Holy smokes, women's lightweights? What the fuck? They should be commended for that. It's hard to find some women's featherweights. What the hell? But, you know what I'm saying? The face of the lightweight division people don't like. So, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not going back to Kayla Harris. But no, seriously, Cyborg could sign with Bellator. Or, man, if PFL will have her, if Cyborg wants $1 million, sign up for that PFL $1 million lightweight tournament. Oh my. A lot of options for Cyborg. UFC doesn't seem like the best here. Seems like if it's up to Dana, if it's up to Nunes, she's going to get played out. So if I'm Cyborg, I got options. I got too many options to deal with you assholes at this point. You know what I'm saying? And I say assholes respectfully, but like to deal with the headache that you guys already showed me you're talking about 2 years. He's talking, we know Dana White, when he don't want a rematch, if he don't want it, it probably ain't going to happen. And if he does, it will. If it's Joanny Jacek or Cody Garbrandt, Dana's going to get him the rematch. If it's TJ Dillashaw, if it's Cris Cyborg, if it's they're not getting the rematch. If it's Luke Rockhold, people that Dana White doesn't seem to favor. So Cyborg, I would go to Bellator. I think that'd be it. I mean, Valentine T says full-time MMA doesn't give Valentina the bullet respect because she didn't get knocked. Wait. Full-time MMA doesn't give Valentina the bullet respect because she didn't get knocked and made it to the end of the fight. I don't give Valentina respect. I definitely give Valentina respect. Before the Nunes fight, I thought she was #1 pound for pound. Nunes just took that. I mean, I don't overrate Valentina Shevchenko. I don't sit here and convince myself she can beat Amanda Nunes because it's not going to happen. I mean, if they fight 10 times, Amanda's probably going to win 8 of them. Valentina might win 2 of them, but Nunes is the better fighter. I don't confuse shit. I don't get it twisted. But who else is beating Valentina? Aside from Cyborg or Nunes, nobody. I don't see nobody. Let's not talk about lightweights because that's not even cool. Grand Swing Sports says Cyborg has 1 more fight left on her contract. Okay, so 1 more fight with the UFC, but Stamina MC on the panel, he said it's 1 fight or a time frame. I think it's either 1 fight or May. So if she doesn't fight by May, I think she's out of her contract as well. So that is an interesting point, because if that's the case, she probably won't be able to make the PFL turn. Yes, she can. She still would be able to, because she would just have to get into the regular season a little late. She could still definitely earn enough points, just knock out some PFL girls en route to the playoffs. Zayatan says Valentina will beat, but he didn't put a name, because I hope he wasn't going to say Nunes. Because, and it's like now, before, okay, I hear the argument. So the fight was close. I guess Nunes has to knock her out to convince everybody. But she won the 5th round, and that's honestly, if we're going into the rematch, for one, she's the champion. So Valentina's the one that needs to apply the pressure. She's the one that needs to take the belt. Same with Wonderboy versus Woodley. When you get a rematch, you need to take the belt. Because if you lose again, you're not getting another shot. You have to take that belt. You can't leave it to the judge. And you can leave it to the judge's hands if you have a dominant decision. But you can't fight like a close fight and expect them just to give you the for some reason. Now we're disconnected. They're saying disconnected, reconnected. All right, I think we're back. Let me see. Let me hit refresh right here. But I was saying, Amanda Nunes right now, man, she's got checkmate over Shevchenko as well. Like, all right, so yeah, I'm still live. All right, she can say, "Oh, you want a rematch? All right, we'll step up to 145." You know what I'm saying? Like, well, what if Valentina Shevchenko wanted to rematch Nunes, and Nunes said, "All right, fight me at 145 pounds." Oh, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, Nunes is the one, man. What happened to the stream, says Valentine T. It reconnected, says Lolita Davidich. Women's MMA sucks, says Grand Swing Sport. Let's be real, it's top heavy. I'll agree it's top heavy. I won't agree that it sucks. I definitely don't think it sucks, but it's a little top heavy. I mean, if you look at Cyborg's resume and the girls that Valentina's kind of had to fight, but in top heavy, they've got some good girls. They've got a good handful of girls. Like, they've got good. The women's bantamweight division has impressive fighters. They've got up-and-coming fighters on the way that are even better. I mean, even some of the women's strawweights are throwing down these days. I definitely don't agree women's MMA sucks, but there are some girls that I think are just way better than the others. I mean, Valentina Shevchenko and Amanda Nunes are probably better than everybody else. I mean, and Cris Cyborg, man, she's up there, but boy, Amanda Nunes did not do her any favors as far as... I didn't think leaving that fight you would be questioning Cyborg's GOAT status, man. Like, she's still one of the greatest, but it's not even... It's not the... Not the women's strawweight across the board, says Leon Dubison. Yeah, it came back, little minor YouTube issues, but we back. Put them bagels away. Smash the like button, says that weird guy like your middle name is Khabib. Let's go. Elite XXL says Cyborg should take a fight anyway to get her confidence back, because if she gets slept twice, that looks bad. Yeah, oh, that would be a terrible look. That would be a terrible look. Steven MC says Nunes couldn't really call Vishev for 145. That'd be like Ronda insisting Chris go down to 35, knowing full well can't happen. No ratings for that sort of tactic. Well, yeah, I mean, it won't happen, or I don't know if it can't happen. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm sure Valentina doesn't even walk around at 145. I'm sure of that. But I'm just saying it's kind of like it probably wouldn't happen. But like if it was at a press conference or something, I would, yeah, it's not super realistic, but I would definitely throw it out there and just let it be known, hey, I'm also the champ at 145. I mean, I feel like if Amanda Nunes spoke better English, she would just eat Valentina Shevchenko up. She just got the ammo here. She could talk about how she tried to help, Cris Cyborg train for her, and how did that help? Like, I beat you twice. You couldn't help Cyborg beat me. I'll fight you at 145. Wait, we know you don't want to do that. We can meet in the middle, but I beat you twice there. I mean, what more do you want from me? What more do you want from me? Amanda Nunes, what more do you want from me? Or like you said, Stamina, how about this? Let me fight your sister first, and then if you want a rematch, I want to fight. Like there's just so much she could, just say and stuff. Mega Monkey in the building. Only 115 is stacked, says Mega Monkey. There's some good girls at 135. 125 now with the integration. Like, there's girls that are better at 125 than they were at 135. Jessica I at 125 looks a lot better. I mean, girls like Caitlin Chekugi and Valentina. There's a lot of good girls at 125, I feel like. Some of the girls that have even came up from 115 have had some success at 125. So, Leon Dubson says an atom weight, but UFC may not introduce it. Yeah, and if you introduce atom weight, things still start thinning out, but there are some girls that could definitely make atom weight. Grand Swing Sports says women's sports in general hard to sell. I agree, 100%. You're correct. I mean, I don't watch the WNBA. I don't watch, the WNFL. I think there's like a lingerie league. I might check that shit out. Oh shit, there's like a lingerie MMA league. You guys know? Some of you guys probably know what I'm talking about. I didn't know about them. But they followed me on Twitter. It's like Lingerie FL. Like the LFL. Okay. I'll follow you back. See what pops up on my timeline. Elite XXL says Valentina is a big girl, muscular. She looks better at 135. Some people have said that they don't think Valentina had a great weight cut to 125. I don't know if that's true or not. That is her natural weight class. But that would be interesting something to keep an eye on. If I'm Valentina, man, I'm trying to defend my belt. You know what I'm saying? If I'm healthy, I'm trying to defend that thing actively. Like, I had to wait for a full year for Nico Montano. I just now fucking beat Joanna. Like, I'm trying to fight a few times this year, get some of that championship money that she's been missing out on. Now that she's finally got that belt, she's about to be getting that pay. If I'm Valentina, I'm beating all these motherfucking flyweights up. I ain't even thinking about Nunes, especially after 232. I'm thinking about breaking Demetrius Johnson's record. I'm thinking about running it up like Anderson Silva. Fuck you talking about? I know the Shevchenko fans, like, I know you guys want me to fight Nunes, and I'll do that. But I really want to make some history. I want to break Joanna Jędrzejczyk's record. And, I'm trying to break a women's record. I'm not thinking about Amanda Nunes right now. Elite XXL says she looks sucked in, but she's professional. She won't miss weight. Yeah, I don't think she'll miss weight, but you do wonder if it is a bad weight cut, will it affect the performance? But even so, I think Shevchenko is just way better than the other girls. Like, her and Nunes, I think it's kind of like John Jones and Cormier. Like, they're just so much better than everyone else they fight. Everyone else, man, good luck. Gustafsson is a fucking monster. Latifi, monster. Anderson, monster. I mean, there's some really good fighters at 205. But fucking against John Jones and Cormier, good luck. Same with, I feel like, with Nunes and Shevchenko, good luck. And yeah, I agree with Leon Dubson about what you said about women's sports. WMMA is different. I wanted to get that out there. Like, yeah, I think that's true for most sports, but WMMA I think is different. It's a fight. It's a fight. I just think WMMA is different, man. I just think with MMA being the greatest sport, I think people will be attracted, especially, as people get more and more used to seeing WMMA and stuff. I think people are more attracted to watch a fight than they are to watch something less, I don't know, less, like in WNBA, I feel like it's a little different. There's going to be less explosion in MMA and stuff, less athleticism, a little bit less explosion, but it's still a fight. So, I don't know. I like WMA, and I don't watch any of the other shit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some women's volleyball. You know, if it pops up on ESPN too. But yeah. Moving on, Amanda Nunes' coach also throwing water on Cris Cyborg's rematch hopes. And, you know, talking about, you know, Cris Cyborg's chance to beat Nunes in a rematch, he said, "I never put it that way to say it's not possible for Cyborg to beat Nunes in a rematch. I just explain it in the way of how Amanda is as a fighter. I believe for you to get close to her, you have to understand fighting more than she does. And I think that right now, I don't see anybody who understands fighting as much as she does. Of course, I'm not in any way disrespecting Cyborg or any other fighter, but I don't see that. I think Amanda Nunes is on a different level of MMA. You guys, just real quick, something crossed my mind. I want to look at Amanda Nunes' resume, because I really think hers actually is really impressive. I was kind of surprised when I really, like, looked at the names on Cyborg's resume, like, oh, these girls aren't really, like, killers like that. I want to see Amanda Nunes. She's actually, I think, been fighting like all really good girls. I'm just curious. Amanda Nunes' resume, 17-4, extremely impressive. Raquel Pennington, Cyborg. I mean, I think Raquel Pennington, she's got UFC fights. That's a legit UFC fighter. I mean, she's been fighting in the UFC since fucking 2013. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 wins in the UFC. That's legit competition. 9, 10 fight. That's real competition. Valentina. Come on. That's Valentina. That's extremely impressive. Ronda Rousey, say what you want. Say what the fuck you want about Ronda Rousey, but she's looking pretty good right about now. She's looking pretty good. Cyborg only lasted 3 seconds longer than Rousey. So either Cyborg's looking, either Ronda Rousey's looking really good or Cyborg's looking really bad. You take your pick, but it's one of them. Ronda Rousey, we know what she did, though. She took the sports to new levels. She was armbarring bitches. The grappling is real. So, impressive win. Miesha Tate, I think that's an impressive win. Was she the champion? No. Was she? Well, actually, yeah, she did become the champion. And also, legitimate experience in fights. Fought for Strikeforce before the UFC. A legitimate fighter was Miesha Tate. Sarah McMahon, phenomenal wrestler. Shayna Baszler, another one. I mean, with a lot of experience, is she the same skills as all these other girls we just named? No, but she's got a lot of real experience, UFC experience. Not a lot of wins in the UFC, but I'm just looking at it. GDR. Now, who is Sheila Gaff? Who knows? That was her first fight in the UFC. Who was she fighting before the UFC? She was in Strikeforce. I think Strikeforce was probably a little more impressive. Ooh. Let's see. Cyborg, she was fighting in Strikeforce too. Who's she fighting? Now, when she was in Strikeforce, that's probably where her most impressive wins came from. The Jan Finneys, I would assume. Yeah, she was what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 and 7 when she fought Cyborg. So, but still, I mean, I just think if you look at strength of schedule, Amanda Nunes just fucking shot past Cyborg. Win over Julia Budd, Vanessa Porto early in her career. So that's interesting. That's really interesting. Like I said, and of course, just kind of comparing her to Cyborg's it is. She beat Gina Carano, but I think she's more, known these days. Yeah, she was a WMMA pioneer, but, I think she's more, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't on the level. She's more known for her looks and everything else outside of the octagon than her actual fights. But, Shayna Baszler a little earlier on, which we looked at, wasn't Nunes' most impressive win. Honestly, man, Cyborg, you know what I'm saying? Like, she never, and maybe it's not her fault, but she never had to fight the highest level competition compared to Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes didn't get no favors, and she's been fighting motherfuckers like Valentina Shevchenko. So I think that's just more impressive. So that's interesting to see, hear her coaches. I mean, if I'm Nunes, I'm not super scared of the rematch. But, Cyborg, like I said, she's still one of the best fighters, one of the only people that probably even has a chance to beat Nunes. Not many girls have a chance to beat Nunes. Cyborg's at least one of them that has a chance. But I don't like Cyborg's odds in the rematch. Good luck. Nunes is a fucking monster. Baszler was good then, says Leanne Dubson. Okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Steven MC says Nunes' wins are all stoppages too, except for Shevchenko. Yo, in the UFC. Oh, not fucking around. Damn. She's only won. What? She's fucking finished everyone she's fought except Shevchenko. Dude, we've been, like, even me, who I haven't been sleep on Nunes, but we all have in general. But no one really realized how fucking good she was. If you dissected their resumes, you might have gave her a better chance to win that fight. Literally, she's got 2 decision wins. Guess who it is? Valentina, both times. She's finished everybody else. Beaten high-level competition, including Shevchenko. I mean, it's just wild how good Amanda Nunes is. It's kind of fucking crazy. Dutch Style Black Cloud says, I like Cyborg's odds in the rematch. Shit, it's fucking 50-50 for me, and it might be 60-40 Amanda. Like, Nunes ain't fucking around, bro. But Amanda Nunes' coach said, the reason why I say I don't think there will be a rematch is because I think the rematch should only happen if it was a split decision or even a unanimous decision where you probably don't know which way the fight was going to go. When you knock somebody out, don't come to me and say it was lucky. Oh, it was a lucky shot. No, that was very visible and clear that Amanda knew what she was doing. Everybody saw it and Cyborg could not handle it. I don't see why you would have a rematch. I mean, I've watched the fight a couple times now. Cyborg's got a hell of a chin on her because Amanda Nunes was pounding her shit. Cyborg took some big shots before she went down. Hell of a chin on her, but Amanda Nunes was finding the target through the defense, whatever defense it was. And we know Cyborg has better, well, she's definitely got a little bit better striking defense than Ronda Rousey. But still, Nunes was finding her mark. Oh, this was a bad night. Oh, it was a bad night for Cyborg. Damn. That was one of the just worst ways possible. It could have happened 3 seconds longer than Ronda Rousey. First round. Now people are looking at your resume. And you're in a bad baby video to top it off. Man, we need to get a win under our belt. We need to erase this shit from people's memory. For sure. Amanda Nunes' coach, Amanda Nunes, and Dana White, though, all seem to be on the same page, not super interested in a Cyborg rematch at this time. Are they ducking? You tell me. Cyborg is the most feared woman on the planet. Will she continue to be, though? Because I don't know why you would be scared of Cyborg if you're not scared of Amanda Nunes, because she's a bad... Ooh, undefeated. If this is like the women's DC that never almost, had the towel gate. And that's really the only thing against Daniel Cormier. And that's why at the beginning of the show I said that's my men's MMA GOAT. Over GSP, over Anderson Silva, over John Jones, over Demetrius Johnson. I mean, for me, it's Daniel Cormier. And Anderson Silva's up there, but with the losses at the end of his career and with the failed drug test, I don't hold against him too much for Anderson Silva for the simple fact that USADA came out and said that it was tainted supplements. It didn't come out because of some snitching clause. It wasn't still in his system when he fought. So, but still, not on the level of Daniel Cormier. Still respected, one of the greatest of all time. Everyone I just mentioned, one of the greatest of all time. Argue their numbers 2 through 5. But number 1 is Daniel Cormier. Number 2 for me is probably GSP, for sure. But for me, if you wanted to have a debate and you picked GSP, I would ask you about the Johnny Hendricks fight, and I would ask you about the Michael Bisping. Like, really, is he really the double champ like DC, though? Like, if you're talking about he did win the middleweight belt. Impressive, respect. But he vacated it, and he beat Michael Bisping. DC knocked out Stipe Miocic in the first round, wasn't in much trouble, if any, during the fight, and before that was 13-0 at heavyweight. So now he's still undefeated at heavyweight, with wins over credible opponents, champion, at the same time, champ. He didn't leave one belt alone for 5 years and then come back for a better matchup for the next belt. He was the reigning light heavyweight champion and still went up. Only person he's ever lost to was John Jones, who failed the drug test. There's no fights you look at, really, like where he was at the press conference could barely open his eyes, and people thought that he got robbed or someone got robbed. There's not really any fight you look at in Daniel Cormier's career like, damn, that was a robbery for DC. I think 85% of people, if not 90, that watch Johnny Hendricks versus GSP and the post-fight everything are probably going to lean toward Johnny Hendricks. And you say what you want. Oh, was Johnny Hendricks using da-da-da-da-da? Did he fail the drug test for that fight? I don't think so. Because the same people that speculate about Johnny Hendricks' potential PED use, there's people that speculate the same shit about GSP and everybody. Like, people speculated about everybody. So if you didn't fail the drug test after the fight, I'm not going to say you were on steroids for that fight. And if you want to argue that, go ahead. But did you fail the drug test? So, I think it's Daniel Cormier. His only asterisk is the 206.2, the towel gate, where he was fighting a fighter that he beat twice. Rumble Johnson. He beat him twice. I don't think that 1 extra pound helped him against Rumble Johnson, especially if you see what the fuck he's done at heavyweight. You know? So, I think Amanda Nunes and Daniel Cormier are the clear greatest fighters of all time right now. Leon Dobson says, Cris's competition over the years has not tested her enough due to a mix of her being too good and some opponents not being up to par. Yeah, and so then when you throw yourself in there with a lion, no pun intended, like fucking Amanda Nunes, boy, that can be a bad mix. Really? No, that's a great point. It's not her fault that she hasn't been getting tested. But iron hasn't been sharpening iron. Unless she's fucking sparring with John Jones or something on a daily. Like, who is Cyborg's training partners? She's not at American Top Team. She's not at American Kickboxing Academy. And maybe the result of Cyborg falling is because she's not a Crayanche. Maybe Cyborg would have been better if she fought for AKA or ATT or one of the best fight teams in the world. She does train with Jason Perillo, but who's her fight camp? Who are her teammates? Who are the women she trains with? Because she's not fighting the highest level competition in the octagon, so who's keeping her sharp? Because you can't just be fucking walking around being known as the baddest ever when you got a chick like Amanda Nunes you're going to be fighting. You know, you got to be staying sharp, and it's not from the competition she's fought, so that's a great point. Unemployed Mario Yamasaki says, what about Max? Max is up there, but not great. He hasn't, not yet. For one, he's only one division, and very impressive at his division. But pound for pound, hasn't did it at multiple weight classes. Also, I don't think we've seen him tested against as many styles. Amanda Nunes and DC have both beat probably every style you can throw at him. Great wrestlers, great strikers, great champions. Max Holloway, super impressive, but sort of like Conor McGregor in a sense that the two best wrestlers, I think you would say, in his division, and I'm not saying he might beat both of them, honestly. Chad Mendes just retired, so he's not even there anymore. But Frankie Edgar, and we all want to see that fight anyway. So the fact that I haven't seen that and the fact that I haven't seen him up at lightweight beating the champion, I wouldn't put him up there over DC or GSP, I think, or any of those guys. But he's got potential to make his case, to make his case to be one of the greatest of all time. But he's just still got to do a lot. You know, he's still got to go out there and make his legacy. Grand Swing Sports says, Jose, Cruz, Max, TJ, all GOATs. Yeah, TJ Dillashaw is definitely one of the greatest of all time, I think, as well. It'll be really interesting to see how his fight with Cejudo goes. Jose Aldo, what he did, phenomenal as well. Greatest featherweight of all time, I think, still. Max Holloway, man, boy, he might have just took that nod. But definitely not taken away from what Jose Aldo did. That was very impressive as well. Not multiple weight classes, so I mean, you could talk. All those guys are GOATs, but we're talking pound for pound, and if we're talking right now, I mean, DC, Amanda Nunes. And if you're talking pound for pound of all time, which is probably more impressive, it's still DC and Amanda Nunes, because a lot of those guys haven't had success in multiple weight classes. But TJ, DJ, Max Holloway, Dominic Cruz, Jose Aldo, all honorable mention, all GOATs, all top 50 greatest fighters of all time, 25 even, but not that top 5 for me. Cyborg trains with Michael Bisping, says Dutch Style Black Clouds. Does she? I don't know if she does, or do they just have the same boxing coach? Stamina, she says TJ shouldn't really lose to Cejudo, but dropping to fly might compromise him somehow, I feel. Yeah, I'm with you. 100% with you, Stamina. I think TJ's one of the greatest fighters of all time. And if this were at bantamweight, I don't give Cejudo much of a chance. Great wrestling, but that's not enough to beat TJ. Not even close. So, yeah, I think weight cut might compromise him, and that would make it a little bit more. That's going to make it a little more interesting of a fight, because other than that, I'm with you. Elite XXL says, give Silva and Brock testosterone and let them subtract some years. Hey, I mean, if with how USADA just played out, and I'm sure, you know, it's probably we're gonna move past it. But I'm glad you said that. It's gonna move us to actually one of our next topics. It's like, fuck it. What are we doing here? So John Jones gets to have shit in his system when he fights, as long as it's under a certain amount, but so can we all start having a little bit of picograms, or what's going on? Is he the only one? So, I mean, it's like, oh, so fuck it. Let Brock Lesnar have some picograms. Let Anderson Silva have some picograms, because say what you want, it might not be enough to enhance his performance or what the fuck ever, because that's all that's left in his system. Because Chael Sonnen made this great point. Yeah, you can't take a picogram. You can't inject a picogram. But that's what's left. That's probably all that's left. And he has a lot more facts and experience with this shit than me. I'm saying how he said it, like, yeah, he didn't just take a picogram, but how did it get there? That's what's left, potentially. So, oh yeah, if anybody deserves to be on fucking steroids, it's my dog Anderson Silva. I don't have money, but I would pay money to watch Anderson Silva get to fight somebody with some TRT that his doctor would probably recommend anyway. If Anderson Silva went to the fucking doctor and they said, you know, and he wasn't under USADA, they said, they'll probably fucking diagnose him some TRT. So, I would just, Andy's one of the greatest fighters of all time, man. They hold Anderson Silva out. I can't forgive him for that shit. One of my greatest fighters of all time. It wasn't, but that's not how he lost. Let's be honest. That's not how he lost. But the way he failed those drug tests, and then he was proven innocent. I hate how that tarnished his legacy. But how he lost was, let's be real, Chris Weidman. He was fucking around in the first fight, got caught when he was playing around, and got knocked out. In the second fight, his leg fucking snapped. Which should give him more reason that he should be able to fucking use steroids for recovery. Come on. One of the greatest fighters of all time, leg snapped in fucking half, and he can't have nothing? Man, don't do my... Man, that's fucked up. But, that transitioned me to this. Daniel Cormier. He said, are steroid metabolites part of the deal now with John Jones? And that's what I want to know. So what the fuck are we saying? And I've been kind of lost here. I get it. Kind of, that Jeff Novitzky and Dana White and everyone is saying, oh yeah, trust us, he's good. But no. I'm sorry. Like Daniel Cormier saying... So is this part of the deal now? So what are we saying? This could be in his system forever? Does he get to fight every fight and fail drug test? Does he... What the fuck? And oh, by the way, no one mentions this or has talked about this or anything, and I need to go back and honestly, I want to connect the dots and look at the timeline. You remember not too long ago, USADA changed their whole fucking policy? Now we're not announcing when fighters fail drug tests. Now they can come out and tell you publicly if they want, but we're not announcing it because we don't want to fuck up people's reputations no more. Never thought about that when they were fucking up Anderson Silva's record. Never thought about that when they were fucking up Frank Mir or any of these other fighters' legacies. Never thought about that shit when they were fucking... All these fighters who are innocent, and after 5 fighters are fucking innocent, how many innocent fighters do we got to get to, or clean, or contaminated supplements, before we change the rules? So all these fighters, you know, it's not like someone failed a drug, or did they? It's not like someone failed a drug test and it had such a harmful effect on their career it made them reconsider. It was kind of out of nowhere that USADA was like, we're not announcing failed drug test anymore. Fast forward a month or two later, and here we are in this whole John Jones shit. What would have happened if USADA announced Jon Jones failed a drug test publicly 2 months ago, before they made that rule? And now they're saying that he popped earlier, right? He had it. Oh no, in August he failed too. Was the rule changed by then, or should we have known about that? Because this whole shit is fishy. And by the way, also, they're saying there could potentially be picograms in his system forever. So what's the point in testing Jon Jones? To make sure he only has picograms? If I'm DC, I'm not fighting this motherfucker. Unless you make it worth it. You're going to give me $10 million? And, I don't know, something else. You already got a good job with y'all. So, I mean, I'm kind of cool with y'all. I do fuck with y'all, UFC. So, I am a company man. I ain't going to hold back too much. But you guys got to see where I'm fucking coming from. This dude's got picograms of turbinol in his system, and he could potentially fuck up my whole legacy. Come on. Just give me something. Give me something to work with here. I might not be fighting Brock. Just give me the bag, bro. I'm going to fight him. I might even go out on my shield. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, he's got picograms in his system, but I'm a company guy, so I'm going to fight him. But honestly, I'm going to be real with you, Dana. If me and you didn't have such a good relationship, I would not fight this dirty motherfucker. I'm doing this for you guys. Not because I fucking just want to beat Jon Jones. I'm cool on that. I'm cool on him. So, I would just like to be compensated for this bullshit that I'm doing. You know, so, yeah. DC said, in these situations, trying to be logical, and I don't think most people in MMA are. Ding, 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 ding. I'm kind of there. Like, what the fuck are people thinking? He said, that's the problem. The metabolites are supposed to be long-standing or whatever, so am I supposed to believe that every time he's supposed to have this, that he's just allowed to have this in his body now? I don't understand if it's just part of the deal now. When you fight Jon Jones, you know there will be an abnormal test finding, and you just have to be okay with it because they're just there. It's hard to logically wrap my mind around that. Those are the types of things that I have problems with when I'm thinking logically as an adult. That just does not seem to be fair, because even if it's a long-standing thing that's showing itself, it's still not fair. I don't understand it, and I don't get it. And, yeah, I mean, don't try and make sense of it, because we're not going to be able to. Kind of just being force-fed, whatever, and, you know, what are you going to do? So that's why if I'm DC, man, I'm not motivated to take this fight. You would really have to give me some sort of big financial incentive to deal with this baby back, bagel biting bullshit. But yeah, man. With that being said, we got a few more things to talk about, but I completely understand, and I agree with DC. We need some clarity here. And I don't know if we're going to get it, but I definitely would have some clarity if I'm DC before agreeing to fight this motherfucker. I know that much. But questions are going to be raised, right? You know, as far as like, okay, so when we fight next, is he supposed to be clean? You know, so either way, we'll move on from that topic. Grand Wing Sports says, Dan Henderson juice, no one cares. I mean, a lot of people used to before USADA and stuff like that. You know, it's not about juicing. It's sort of about a level playing field. I don't think anybody cares. There's probably, honestly, a lot of fighters that are dirty, doing something. Something. Whether it's minimal or whatever. Some fighters are cheating. But you're not being allowed to. If you get caught, you get suspended. You can't catch everybody, but if you get caught, you get suspended. Therefore, you better be real fucking careful or take a real low level, and it's keeping the levels low. It's keeping it a somewhat level playing field. But you can't especially allow certain fighters to have failed drug tests, especially when you don't even make it public information anymore. Imagine, and I couldn't imagine it ever happening, but could you imagine if Khabib or Conor or who are the UFC's biggest stars, not named Jon Jones? We know how it would happen if it was Jon Jones, but if they would do all this for Jon Jones, if Conor even fucking, Conor allegedly might do cocaine, he parties. Who knows? I wouldn't care if he did cocaine. You know, it's not a personal judgment. But what if he got into some Chinese bullshit cocaine that was cut with fucking T-ball and it popped randomly in the system? It was just contaminated, no harm, no foul. You think we would hear about that shit? You think they would cancel that fight? It's hard to believe they would now. So, it makes you go, okay, if Conor's going to rematch Khabib, we know he needs something to win. Now you got a question. Are they going to, oh, wait, maybe Conor can win. Will they let him do some John Jones type shit? Like, no, come on, man. You can't let that happen. Certain fighters, the biggest stars, get special treatment. I don't go political. I don't accuse people of steroids that have never popped. But anybody that keeps up with the fucking news in America has heard about some sort of fucking rushing, doping, Olympic scandal bullshit. And I know it's not just Russia. But motherfucker, if they can beat the Olympics, can they not fucking work out a deal with USADA, especially if you motherfuckers are doing deals or something? How can we fucking trust you guys with any of the big stars? If I'm a fighter. I'm a fan, fuck it, I'm just gonna watch the fight. If the fighter agrees, like Gustafsson, and it's fucked up, they don't have much of a chance, because Gustafsson said that. Like, what am I supposed to do? People keep asking Gustafsson, like, why are you fighting him? This is my job. What am I supposed to do? Not fight for the title? Just fight another contender fight? I can't get a title shot. DC won't fight me. If I don't fight this motherfucker, I'm stuck here in my career. If I ever want to progress, I gotta fight him. So I guess I'm gonna beat his ass on rocket fuel. But that's a fucking tough ask. He's already one of the greatest fighters of all time. Right? No one thinks, no, John Jones could do it without the steroids. He could do it with the clean. He sure can. Right? So he's already that good. So now he gets to fucking have this in his system? Man, you know what I'm saying? Sit back and watch the fights as a fan. But man, if you're a fighter, this shit is sketchy. You know? You better fucking get Ali Abdelaziz. You better get one of these good managers to have your back. Because, boy, without that, good fucking luck, dog. Infamous says everyone should just start popping for metabolites and watch all of them get fucking banned. Unless they use the substantial, unless they want to snitch. But right now, man, it seems like, wouldn't that be crazy if somebody just started snitching like a fighter that wanted the belt? They don't give a fuck about being a snitch. I'm telling on everybody. I'm going to be jacked to the tits. They're going to let me have TRT. They're going to let me have 9 grams of this shit in my system. That's how many people I'm the champ. I'm coming for you, Conor. I'm coming for you, Khabib. Who's the biggest fight? Fucking, this is what I'm doing. I'm coming for Conor, then Khabib, then fucking Woodley. Bro, this opens up a whole new level. This is crazy. You better be careful out here. You're about to have a whole bunch of fighters that are snitching so they can beat the system and shit. Substantial assistance. What the hell? Jay Skill says, really hope full time gets to go to that UFC event in Kansas. Yo, I'm going. I'm fucking going. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm going. I'm figuring it out. I'm going to figure it out, bro. Like, I'll pause, like, if I needed to, it ain't going to get to that, because I'm going to handle my shit. I'm going to have enough saved up, hopefully, regardless. But if I needed to, I'll pawn my motherfucking TV. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't, it's a long story, but we kind of just got an extra one, you know? But even I've did it before we got it. But either way, I'm going to get there, bro. I ain't worried about it. Leon W says, I'm on board the Harrison Express, but with full time as a super gas train driver, don't know, man. Wait to hop on until her next 2 fights. Wait till she wins the $1 million. But we was here from the beginning. What does that mean? Nothing. But, I mean, it is what it is. Infamous MMA says, Marty from Nebraska. Tyron Woodley, Kamaru Usman trade shots on social media over a possible UFC 235 fight. Welterweight. Here we go. This is where we transition into a little bit of the UFC, the Ultimate Fighting Circus a little bit. Man, we got a circus going on at welterweight. For one, Colby Covington. That's enough circus for all of us. But we got Kamaru Usman, a.k.a. Marty from Nebraska. Never been fucking around. The Nigerian Nightmare. I think he's got these guys scared. Poet, and I didn't even know it. But really, I told you guys, while we were watching that Usman fight, the direct aftermath, what did I say? I said, if you're Tyron Woodley, or you're Colby Covington and you're watching this fight, neither one of you are looking at him like, I want to fight that guy. Neither one of you are looking at him like, point to the easy work. Nobody's looking at him like light work. And so, no one's going to want to fight him. And that's the case. Because here Usman is, trying to fight whoever. Colby Covington, whoa. You like to talk all this shit. You're so fucking loud. Talking interviews with anybody. Shit, if I wanted, it probably wouldn't be too hard to get Colby Covington to come on the show and just talk some shit. Because he talks so much, right? God, I can't think of a time I've heard Colby this quiet. Where is Colby, guys? Seriously. Where the fuck is Colby? Why ain't he saying nothing? I mean, we're talking about Tyron Woodley and Usman. For one, it's supposed to be Woodley versus Covington. Woodley versus Covington should have already happened. It already got fucking wrished when Tyron Woodley had to fight Till because Covington had sinuses. So, Covington, do you want to fight Woodley or not? This whole Colby Covington shit is... He's looking like a hoe out here. Colby Covington is quiet as a fucking mouse. He's on video. Kamaru Usman confronting him backstage at that press conference. Yo, what's up? What's up? Colby's fucking balls deep, face deep in his phone, head down, don't want to talk to nobody, don't want to look up, don't want confrontation. None of that shit. And so here we are now. Woodley and Usman want to fight. Where you at, Colby? Because right now the UFC's trying to pass up your title fight again. You weren't ready to fight at UFC 228. So now you're still not ready? But oh, by the way, before Kamaru Usman won, Colby Covington was talking that shit again. Before Kamaru Usman won, Colby Covington, I'm not the one that was ducking. I was ready to fight. I was ready to fight. So you ready to fight? Why the fuck ain't we fighting? So you got Colby who's clearly ducking, because I ain't heard nothing from Colby. It's been quiet in these MMA streets. Colby ain't said a word. Why? Ducking to fade. Big duck. Tyron Woodley, this nigga don't want to fight Usman either. Sorry to break it to you. I don't know if he's scared, but I bet you he'd rather fight Colby. I don't think he's scared. I don't think he's shivering. I don't think he thinks Usman's going to beat him. But kind of like Amanda Nunes in the Cyborg rematch, he's got a chance. So, now, Tyron Woodley's denying this Usman fight. Usman's calling him out, showed the contract, showed that he signed it. What's up, champ? Let's go, champ. And Woodley's denying this shit. So we got some welterweight duck, duck, goose going on. We got Covington, who seems to be ducking Usman, and Woodley. Woodley seems to be ducking Covington. I'll tell you what. We don't know who's ducking who and who's the ducks, but we goddamn sure know who the goose is. We know who ain't ducking nobody. And that's Marty from Nebraska. Kamaru Usman. He's not ducking anybody. Nobody. He's the goose here. No one wants to fight him. He wants to fight Colby more than he wants to fight for the belt. He said, I would rather fight Colby than fight for the belt. I gotta bless him with these hands. But he can't fight either one right now. None of them want smoke. It's that simple. Nobody wants smoke with Kamaru Usman right now at the top. Not Woodley, not Covington. But Covington, if that's the case, you need to get your ass in gear and fight Woodley so he don't got no option but to fight Usman. Or whoever's the champion. Because this belt needs to be getting defended. And yeah, Tyron Woodley defended against Till. You can't strip him or nothing. But Usman's lined up ready to go. And it's duck, goose at the top. So, but this is what transpired on Twitter. Bob Cratchit said, oh, he's not ducking Askren? Fuck no. Come on. Kamaru Usman ducking Askren. Askren came in hot. Hey man, Askren, we got to see about Askren first. Phenomenal wrestler. Heard all about it. One of the greats. But don't give me no motherfucking Usman duck. That's like people that tried to say Valentina was ducking Nunes after she already beat her once. Fuck out of here. And she had a history of sinusitis. Ain't nobody about to convince me Kamaru Usman's ducking fucking Ben Askren. You think he's scared of his wrestling? Kamaru Usman's one of the best fucking wrestlers out there, fighting the best guys in the world. Ben Askren's been over there fighting little Asian dudes and won. He's been fighting the best welterweights in the fucking world. You what? If Kamaru Usman turns down a fight with Askren, it's 100% because he deserves a title fight or to move up, and because Askren hasn't proved himself in the UFC, and nothing to do with fear in the fight. Oh no. Oh no. You ain't gonna convince me of that one. Oh no, not Kamaru Usman. Fucking savage, dog. He said it's a done deal. Yeah, it has been signed. March 2019, I will be the new welterweight champion. Tyron Woodley said, bruh, quit lying to these people and getting them pumped. Colby will fight out, or he said, we'll fight Colby and you this year. He has to catch the fade first. So he's like, nope, I'm fighting Colby first. Usman said, what am I lying about? Do I not have a signed contract with your name on it? Just face the reality, March 2nd, you're standing across the octagon from me. Now get your shit together and let's run it, Tyron Woodley. Bruh, you're coming off sounding stupid, Tyron Woodley responds, and I don't do Twitter beef, you got my line. But what you don't have is a damn agreement signed by me. Now quit lying before I lose respect for you. Like I said, I'll fight both of you. The order is to be determined. Chill, take a number, and fall back. Kamaru Usman said, I'm coming off stupid. The order has to be determined by the boss himself, Dana White. Now, like you said, you're the only one who hasn't signed. I wonder what that means. He's got a good point there. Yo, I hear what you're saying. The order is still to be determined, but instead of waiting for this Colby Covington situation, my contract is signed. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Clearly, Woodley would rather fight Covington, but, I mean, it's the bigger fight. Maybe he's trained with Covington. He feels like it's the more winnable fight. Tyron Woodley says, that means you're a liar. You just said it was signed and a done deal, right? You and Ali forging my signature? I love how the boss man and you were so close. 6 seconds ago, you were getting shit on for being 30%. Stop. This isn't your style. You're coming off whack. Kamaru Usman. Oh, you have to be fighting in the balls with a raise in the bed. Help the bed! Yo, 5 in the super chat from Jay Skills, my motherfucking dog. Brother from another mother. Thank you very much, Jay Skills, for the support. Definitely appreciate that. Clayton Funky says Colby versus Usman's a great fight. I agree. That one don't feel as fucking, in the beginning of the Woodley versus Covington was just felt so WWE. I feel like Usman don't care about that shit. He just wants to pound Colby Covington. No hetero. He just wants to beat his ass. Pause. Like, he just wants to fuck this dude up. No hetero. Holy shit. But Kamaru Usman, no. If he gets the opportunity to title first, that's what he wants. He continued, and this is what he had to say. He's done talking. He's not done talking. He's done typing. Motherfuckers don't like tweeting and shit, so let's put it on video. Alright. Maybe it's not going to play. Alright, refresh. Alright. Maybe Kamaru Usman's video is not going to play right there. So maybe we'll go to his Twitter. And we'll play it here. Now it's playing.
What's up, everybody? You right, champ. All this back and forth Twitter bullshit really ain't me. So you know what? I'm going to put it all to rest right here. I have a bout agreement signed with your name on it. You the only one who haven't signed on that dotted line. It doesn't matter. March 2nd, I'm fighting for the UFC welterweight title, period. Now, if you don't want to step up and defend the belt, I'll whoop Covington's ass. But March 2nd, somebody's going to catch this fade. So focus all that energy into the gym, and I'll see you March 2nd, champ.
That was the message he had. He said, you know what, enough of this Twitter shit. I ain't with the Twitter typing. It's time for a Twitter video. No. But, he said enough of the talk. Oh, now it's fucking playing. Enough of the talking. Defender vacate. March 2nd. Tyron Woodley or that little bitch Colby Covington gonna catch this fade. Dana White, Sean Shelby, Mick Maynard. Let's get it. Yo, Tyron Woodley here. Here we go. Y'all ready? Tyron Woodley said, and you can tag the whole world, Brody. I don't give a fuck. I fight in the order that best suits my legacy. Y'all about to see what that noise is about. Kamaru said, clearly you don't call the shots. You know I ain't till. I want all the smoke. And trust me, March 2nd, 2019, it's a good time for you to catch the fade. And I ain't talking about a haircut. Yo, March 2nd, 2019. You guys know what that's 1 week before? Motherfucking March 9th, UFC Wichita. Man, bring Covington and Usman to Wichita. I know we ain't gonna get that fight. But man, it will be cold. I don't give a damn if Jason Knight headlines UFC Wichita. I'll be in that bitch. Bring him on, boy. Jason Knight. 5-5 losing streak. I'm watching it and I'm excited the whole fucking time. Let's go. Jason Knight. Oh, if they put Jason Knight on the card, guys, I might shit my britches. Check this out. Oh, let's go piss some people off right here. Woodley said, look at your skin, G. You don't call the shots either. The cookie will uncrumble the way it should. I think he meant crumble. Remember, you were boring 20 seconds ago. Now I'm really done. Now, you might think Woodley's race baiting, whatever. He kind of is. But he's speaking some shit, though. He's got some shit in there. He's got some truth in there. Not the skin part. Because we've seen it's not about the color of your skin. It's more about if you're in favor with Dana White. It's not if you're black or white. It's if you're in favor with Dana White. Because there's white fighters. Is it less? Yeah. But still, there's white fighters. I'll bring up Amanda Bobby Cooper. She ain't got no fucking easy road. They throwing her at the wolves, sacrificing her to the... She ain't got no easy fights. White, blonde hair, all that shit. She ain't getting no easy road. TJ Dillashaw didn't get no immediate rematch. Blonde hair, whatever the fuck you think it might be. If you think it's racism. Clearly that's not the case. There are white fighters who don't get the favor. And that, you know, Luke Rockhold didn't get an immediate rematch. A lot of, you know, it's not just race. But the rest of what Woodley said, I agree with. The cookie will crumble the way it should. Remember, you were boring 20 seconds ago. Dana White wasn't all gung-ho to give you a title shot 20 seconds ago. Yeah, great performance. But don't forget, Dana White's part of the reason you're Mr. fucking 30% Usman. Because he came out and really put a spotlight. 30%? So what, when you fight for a title, you're going to go 50%? He almost turned you into the 30% meme. Maybe you should thank him because that's some popularity or whatever. But if you didn't come out here and just absolutely dominate in an impressive performance where you kept that pressure up, bro, you wouldn't be getting looked at like this. You wouldn't have no damn contract in your hand signing for a title fight, brother. So, yeah, you had an impressive performance. You might feel like you're on top of the world right now. But wait and see how the cookie crumbles before you really feel like you're in there with the boss. And by the way, you can learn it from me, Woodley. I'm not Woodley, but this is... 1 week, you're cool with Dana. Next week, you ain't. 1 week, he's calling you boring. Next week, he's taking you to a Patriots game. You know? So just telling him, slow down, young buck. Your time will come. Usman said, what's my skin color got to do with this? Stop trying to blame somebody else because you want an easy fight and you ain't getting it. March 2nd, you pass the belt whether you like it or not. In that weather. I'm talking about in any weather. It can be fucking sunshine. It can be spring, winter, whatever. Any weather. You're passing that belt. No matter the weather. But stop race baiting. You got a black man telling another black man to stop race baiting. Marty from Nebraska ain't fucking around. Tyron Woodley said, really, they got you cooning too? Oh shit, no, what's going on? I didn't know it continued after this. That's the last part I saw. I haven't seen this part. Oh shit, Woodley's calling Usman a coon now? Oh fuck, dog. What's going on? Oh shit. Because Woodley got called a coon for letting Mike Perry say the N-word. But now he's calling Kamaru Usman a coon for sticking up for, because he don't realize that, yeah, they're patting your back right now, bro, but they're going to turn on you in a fucking second. It's facts. It's going to, I'm with Woodley. I think it's going to happen. If you think the UFC is just behind Usman now and they can't fucking wait to promote this guy, you're kidding yourself. They just realized Colby Covington's ducking the fucking fade right now, and they can't get him to fight. So fuck it. Let's sell Usman versus Woodley. These dudes are both fucking beasts. That's still a good fight. Fuck it. We still can get rid of Woodley. We can worry about how to get rid of Usman next. Fuck it. But yeah, you ain't the next fucking, you know, marketable fuck. You ain't that guy. So respect. You're one of the greatest fighters, but bro, that don't mean shit around here. That's not what it takes. Let's wait till you get this belt and see if you sell pay-per-views. You ain't gonna be feeling this good when they're telling you you're a boring fighter and you don't sell pay-per-views. You ain't gonna be feeling as good, homie. So chill. Really, they got you cooning? He said, shaking my damn head. Y'all both are the easy fight. Till was the challenge, and you saw what happened to him. Just stop while you're ahead. I'm done. Hopefully you got a few more followers from the clout you were chasing today. I'm fucking with Willie's response. That's a nice little response. But, now, I got to question that one on Woodley. I will not say Darren Till is a harder fight than Kamaru Usman, or a harder challenge even than Colby Covington for Woodley. Yeah, he's a hell of a fighter, Darren Till. But he's not near as proven as Usman or even Covington. He beat Wonder Boy in a really close fight that he missed weight, and that's his only claim to the title shot. And then he missed weight a couple times. Like, there's no reason he should have been in that fight, really, except for, you know, yeah, okay, he beat Wonder Boy kinda. But he shouldn't have got a title shot. The only reason it happened is because they needed a title fight, and there was no Cris Cyborg fighter around. You know what I'm saying? Because they could have just put Cyborg on there versus insert Invicta Bantamweight champion here. You know, and it would have just been, okay, we had to salvage the pay-per-view. But they threw Till in there. That didn't work out. But he's not better than Usman. No, I'm sorry. I'm not seeing that. Usman's undefeated in the UFC, what, like 9-0, beating high-level competition, tough challenge. Like, he's a monster. Colby Covington, the pressure, the style. We haven't really seen Woodley deal with another person that's going to wrestle back into him, potentially, you know, if they can last 5 rounds and see where he's going to be after having to use his energy throughout the whole fight. That's, I feel like, the toughest challenge for Woodley. I felt like Covington was already going to be one of the biggest challenges for Woodley, and Kamaru Usman, I feel like, is better than Covington. So Woodley's next couple fights ain't going to be easy. Kamaru Usman says, look at you showing your ass now. You know, after he got called a coon, he had to say yo ass. You know, you're typing, you could say your. Let me go back and make sure I ain't tripping. What my skin color got to do with this? Stop trying to blame somebody else because you want the easy fight and you ain't getting it. See, he's using punctuation. March 2nd, you pass me that belt whether you like it or not. Punctuation, everything. He got called a coon. He's like, look at you showing your ass, dog. Bro, I ain't no coon, bro. Brother. Nah. Look at you showing your ass now. If I'm the easy fight, then shut the fuck up and sign. I'll see you March 2nd in Las Vegas if I don't get lost on the way. Fuck out of here, crybaby. Tyron Woodley, one more response says, they got my guy trolling. You're in Colby's lane. I mentored both of you. Please don't forget that and enjoy your few new followers. Cloud chasing. He says he's cloud chasing. Okay, little nice exchange there. We got a potential fight brewing up. I wouldn't mind seeing this. This is a good fight, but I really think Colby Covington needs his head busted first. You know what I'm saying? By Woodley or Covington. Somebody's got to put their paws on Colby Covington before this shit happens. I will watch this fight, though. Not going to lie. But, man, Colby Covington, let's find his Twitter, dog. You're super quiet right now. I can't think of a time Colby's been this quiet. This is crazy. But if they book this fight, you know he'd be the first on Twitter. So I didn't duck. UFC 232 is tonight. Who takes the main event between America's champ is back to give you America's pick of the week and make your bait? All he's doing is fucking promoting shit. Covington 50 to get a $50 deposit bonus. He's not saying nothing. December 27th. When was this? December 29th, December 27th. Bro is quiet as a mouse. Last shot I called got me to the White House. What shots have you ever called, Junior? GSP, Nate, Nick, Bisping? Nope. You don't call shit. You love to cry a river to the media, but the moment UFC says jump, you say how high. You're not the King Woodley, you're just a cuck. Quiet as a mouse, though, when it's time for... And here's one thing I gotta throw out there, curveball, whatever you want to call it. Is the UFC trying to save Colby Covington from an ass whooping? I think that's a completely fair question. I mean, I don't know Dana White and Colby Covington's relationship, but they seem like they might get along. I don't know why. It just seemed like they might get along. Might share some of the same ideologies and interests. Maybe not. But I think Dana White probably enjoys Colby Covington. And one of his good friends, Donald Trump, one of Colby Covington's idols, Donald Trump. I mean, they just, you know. So, if the UFC don't really like Woodley, don't really like Covington or whoever, I mean, Usman. I mean, let's just throw it out there. If you're Colby Covington's manager, you don't want to fight Woodley then Usman. Or you don't want to fight Usman then Woodley. You don't want to have to fight them both. That's the game I think Woodley's playing. I'm sure he'll fight Covington first if given the choice, but if Woodley's not ready to fight right now, if he's saying I'm injured, whatever, I just fought Till, sorry, then that would be like, well, then you have to book Covington versus Usman for an interim title. So if that happened and Covington lost to Usman, then Woodley would only have to fight Usman. If Covington beat Usman, then he would only have to fight. You see what I'm saying? If Tyron Woodley can get Usman and Covington to fight each other, one of them's knocking the other one off instead of having to fight this super tough wrestler and then the even tougher wrestler. You know, so, and if you're Covington, you got to fight Woodley. Already a hard fight. If you beat him, who's next? Fucking Usman. Holy shit. So both of those guys, like, that's where this Duck Duck Goose is kind of coming into play. But Covington's real fucking quiet right now. Curious, who would you rather see Tyron Woodley fight on March 2nd? Colby Covington or Kamaru Usman? Oh, shit. Ariel Helwani. Nice little tweet. So maybe the fight's going to happen. I'll look up and see where the pay-per-view is. Or if it's going to be a pay-per-view. UFC event schedule. Let's go to here. Alright, so they're saying, oh, T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. So yeah, this might be a pay-per-view. So we might be seeing Woodley. And with Ariel Helwani making tweets like that, and Usman making his case to fight Woodley on that date, and all of this is interesting. So we will see. Maybe Tyron Woodley fights on, in Vegas. And they owe Vegas one. Oh, they owe Vegas a big card. Is that the first time they're coming back to Vegas for a pay-per-view after this John Jones bullshit? Because they owe Vegas big time. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's their first time. UFC 235. That's going to be their first time coming back to Vegas since having to move their whole card on 1 week's notice. So they owe Vegas a big card. So maybe we see Woodley versus Covington. I would love to see that fight. Woodley versus Usman. Covington versus Usman. Something's going to happen in that welterweight triangle we got going on up there. But I'm watching either way. So let's move on. Enough of that. We got a few more interesting topics to talk about. We'll just go over those pretty quick, though. First, though, let's pull up the chat. She says championship fights are almost always on pay-per-view cards. Yeah, most of the time. I mean, you got this one coming up next on ESPN Plus. You know, Henry Cejudo, TJ Dillashaw in a couple of weeks. But yeah, most of the time they're on pay-per-views. Tyron's complaining annoys me, but Colby's fake MAGA act is way worse, says Benji. Man, you ain't never lied. And he's super quiet, man, right now. If Colby comes and he ain't talking near enough. You know, he's always running his mouth, but right now he's in a little bit of a pickle. Seems like he's might be ducking the fade. Unless he's ready to fight, hopefully he's ready to fight March 9th. If I'm Colby Covington and I'm retweeting shit like this, I'm trying to fight on motherfucking March 2nd. Tyron Woodley. I want my title shot. Because if you're Woodley or Covington, you have to fight Usman first. Good luck. That's for real, Rick. That's even more of a risk. It was already a risk putting Darren Till in there with Tyron Woodley, risking the Covington-Woodley fight. Yeah, let one of them fight Usman. We might never see Covington versus Woodley. If Usman has to fight one of these guys first, we might never see Covington versus Woodley. I mean, Usman's a really good fighter. You might not like 30% style of fighting. I'm not thinking about that shit right now. I'm talking about his potential to be the champion is real. His skills are real. Can't deny that. Potential. It's kind of like the Kayla Harrison thing. It's not some crazy fan. I'm just serious. He's one of the best welterweights in the world. Good luck, Woodley. Good luck, Covington. Good luck, any welterweight if you're fighting Kamaru Usman. That's just how I feel about how good he is. Duckington, says James Dickens. Oh, Colby Duckington. That's a good one from James Dickens. Pyrotechnic says Usman will only hold down Woodley if they fight. Woodley knocks him out. There's that potential, but man, holding down Woodley is not as easy as that sounds. You can't just hold Woodley down. What you would be doing, though, if you are trying to wrestle with Woodley and you get that position, you're making Woodley use a lot more energy than he's been accustomed to using early in his fights. Woodley's been able to play chess in some of his recent fights, not with Till, but with the Maya, with the Wonder Boy. He's kind of been able to move slow throughout the first few rounds and not have to be inefficient with his energy. You know, he's been able to conserve energy until the later rounds because you're trying to play chess with him. Covington and Usman, what they bring is that ability to put the pressure on you early in the fight and still potentially have the cardio later in the fight while you've been exhausting all this energy. You know, and yeah, Woodley has cardio to go 5 rounds. But does he have the cardio to go 5 rounds with 5 rounds of action? Because I think Usman does. We've seen it. Woodley, man, and I'm not questioning his cardio, and I don't want to. And it's not a, you know, because I don't like questioning the cardio, you know, but it's realistic. When people are more muscular, you know, it's how will that translate? You know, the lactic. I'm not no fucking scientist or whatever the fuck. You know, no power. I'm not his strength and conditioning coach. But when you're more muscular in a weight class, you usually get tired a little quicker. You see it with guys like Mike Perry. Tyron Woodley hasn't had to use that energy early in a fight. That will change. So maybe Usman does hold him down for the first 2 rounds. Like I said, it's not about his fighting style. I'm not saying it's going to be entertaining. I'm not saying nothing like that. But if he does hold him down for 2 rounds, fuck it, 3. Because championship fight. And then he goes to work in the 4th and 5th. That's what could put Woodley in some trouble. That's where I feel like I think that might be Woodley's worst style matchup. And so it'll be interesting to see. I just think Usman, and I think Woodley can beat Covington, but still, it's not a great matchup. I think Woodley probably will beat Covington, but it's just not a great matchup. And so if he does get through Covington, fucking, man, Marty from Nebraska's on your motherfucking neck. David C. says more muscle equals less gas. Exactly. So, you know, it's one thing if you kind of get to rest in the first 2 and 3 rounds because Wonder Boy's not coming forward. No one wants, you know, everyone's playing chess and you're counter-striking each other. You get to be a little more efficient. Fight might be a little boring, but as much as you're being smart right now. Not only are you conserving your energy, but if you just aggress into Wonder Boy, that's not smart anyway. So it works both ways if you're Woodley sitting back against Wonder Boy. For one, you get to conserve your energy, and for 2, charging at Wonder Boy, he's going to get your ass knocked out. So perfect game plan against Wonder Boy if you're Woodley. Against Maya, he threw his arm out. So he didn't have to grapple all 5 rounds, really. He kind of just stuffed all the takedowns. But who knows? I think he beats Maia still. He might have even got the finish or whatever. But we didn't have to see him just have to fucking just keep, hold Maia down, shoot for his own takedowns, and he was just stuffing those takedowns. He didn't grapple, so even then, and Maia older himself, how's his cardio doing? He was shooting a bunch of takedowns, so that wore him down. It's just going to be a different fight. But yeah, he could knock Kamaru Usman out in 51 fucking seconds. He could knock Covington out in 51 seconds. That's always possible, but how are they going to fight? Are they going to put themselves in a position to be knocked out, or are they going to kind of just wait and shoot for takedowns when they can? Maybe even wait till the second round and try and get that takedown. And I'm down to see any of the fights. Can't wait, but yeah, it'll be interesting. But with that being said, let's move to some of the news. We'll kind of zip through these topics, and we'll be out of here pretty soon. Dana White wanted Aldo to headline UFC on ESPN +2, but the ex-champ didn't want 5 rounds. Aldo's like, fuck that. I'm not fighting for a title. I'm fighting 3 rounds, big dog. If I'm not fighting for a title anytime soon either, fuck that. I'm not trying to do no main event. Now, is he getting main event pay? I mean, that would be some weird shit. You're going to turn down a main event where you get more exposure, more pay, and Aldo don't need the exposure. But if you get more pay for fighting in a main event and you turn that down, that would be questionable. But hey, you're the champ. You call the shots. It's kind of like Anderson Silva when he came in and fought Daniel Cormier on short notice at UFC 200. It was 1 day notice, though. That was the difference. So yeah, he didn't want to fight 5 rounds on like fucking 2 days notice. So they couldn't main event and he couldn't fight for the title because he couldn't fight 3 rounds on 2 days notice. Didn't want to. But to have a full camp and not want to fight 5 rounds in the main event, it's like, huh? Are you trying to get back to a title shot or what's up? I guess as long as Max is the champ, you can't really do that anyway. So fuck it, let's fight 3 rounds and just get this paper, I guess. Aldo's not starving. But there has been the question, though, should all main events be 5 rounds? All main events, I'm saying, yeah, all title fights for sure. But should every ESPN Plus or ESPN card or whatever, should every single main event be 5 rounds? The main event of the prelims, should that be 5 rounds? I mean, because who's going to be the main event? I think Hernandez Moicano's fighting, I don't know exactly who. Co-main event, we'll see Aldo. He's fighting Hernandez Moicano's fighting Aldo. Let's see, a rematch between Marlon Moraes and Rafael Assunção is the main event. So yeah, Aldo versus Hernandez Moicano probably should be the main event there. Former champion, former GOAT, all that shit. But we can't, and I guess it doesn't really matter for us. If you're watching the fight card, it doesn't really matter if Aldo's the main event. I mean, yeah, maybe it brings more attention to it, but I don't know. I am curious. What do you guys think, though? What do you think about the UFC possibly, right now the UFC, all their main events are 5 rounds. Bellator, that's not the case. They have some main events that are 3 rounds. Do you think the UFC is right in making all their main events 5 rounds, or do you think they should probably go, let some of their main events, kind of like Bellator and other organizations, just be 3 rounds? That's interesting. But yeah, Dana White talked about that a little bit at the press conference. He was like, I agree 100% Aldo should be the headline, but he wanted 3 rounds, so giving him 3 rounds. Anthony Smith says he's in the talks to face Jon Jones this year. He is, but there's no telling how this is going to shake out, so I'm not going to dive into this too much. Would love to see the fight, but Corey Anderson's in the picture. Also, right now, Kamaru Usman is in talks to fight Woodley, but Woodley has to sign off on it too. I don't think Jon Jones would duck Anthony Smith unless you tell him he can't have any picograms in the system. Just kidding. But seriously, if they're going to let him have that, he ain't going to duck nobody. He'd probably fight fucking Stipe Miocic and Brock Lesnar at the same time. He's going to let him have whatever he wants in the system. Holy shit, what are we doing here? No, but Anthony Smith says he's in the talks to face Jon Jones this year. Anthony Smith been fucking shit up at light heavyweight. What he's done is not as impressive as Corey Anderson. When you look at Corey Anderson, laid it out. He laid everything out. He nitpicked why he should be next, and boy, you can't argue with what he had to say. Yes, Anthony Smith has looked phenomenal for sure, but And it might even be the fight the fans want to see, honestly. The fans, I mean, with Anthony Smith and his knockouts and just the story of how he's got to where he is right now in the light heavyweight division, being the former middleweight, just everything that comes along with Anthony Smith, I think might be a little more appealing than a fight with Corey Anderson. But if you're talking off of merit and who's kind of earned it or deserves it, I wouldn't argue Corey Anderson. I mean, I think he's definitely probably the guy. But Anthony Smith says, I believe this is my era. I believe no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and I believe I'm only getting better, and I'll defeat whoever I have to defeat. July? Bro, I got you in July if that's what it's got to be. I've got anybody. You know I'm not worried about a damn thing. And, you know, talking about John Jones, it says, it sounds like he's in. Of course, my manager's already been talking to the UFC, and I think they're working that out and seeing what it looks like as far as timelines and stuff, but I'm in. He said, anytime, any place, anywhere, I'm ready. I'll fight John Jones this weekend if he wants to. If that's the fight the fans want to see, they don't want to see John go in there and beat up on Corey Anderson or whoever else. They don't want to see that shit. There's nothing there. So selling his fight, and he could for sure sell it. I mean, the fight style, like I said, more fan-friendly. This fight's got a lot more realistic chance to end in a knockout either way. You want to see John Jones get knocked out? I kind of do. A little bit. Just, you know, and it's not nothing against John Jones. Really, I don't. It's not like, I'm just like, oh, I can't wait to see somebody knock this guy out. But I do want to see him fucking lose if he's going to be fighting at a level playing field. It don't have to be by knockout. Fucking submit him. I just want to see him get a real loss if he's going to have this fucking shit in his system. And I just, for some reason, feel like Anthony Smith might be able to beat John Jones, and he might do it in a way that is crazy as fuck and blows your mind, like Amanda Nunes when she knocked back Cris Cyborg in 51 seconds. So, I like the Smith fight. I'm not gonna lie, man. Corey Anderson deserves it, but I like this fight. If the UFC put it on us, what are we gonna do, right? Like, you're not gonna debate, like, oh, damn UFC, you gave us, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to die if I'm a little more pissed off about this John Jones USADA situation than I would be if Corey Anderson had to wait one more fight. Still up there, though. Corey Anderson still deserves the title shot 100%, but hey, if it goes to Anthony Smith, I'm not complaining. Anthony Pettis considering taking his talents to welterweight, not South Beach. Taking his talents to welterweight for a Wonder Boy fight. All right, well, it didn't work at featherweight, definitely not working at lightweight, but fuck it, maybe we can do something at welterweight, man. You know, not really going to be a 3-division champion, but we can be a 3-division fighter. Fuck it. Good fight? Oh, shit. I'm in. I think Pettis is going to come in there and he's going to fight Wonder Boy. I think he's going to give him a fight. I don't think it would be boring. That's why I like it. I really think he would come in there and try and fight him. Be some ninja shit going on. Might get slept in the process. But I think he would actually fight Wonder Boy, and that's something I would love to see. He took the Instagram and he called him out. This is what he said. He posted the picture of him fighting Ferguson looking like a maniac and a picture of Wonder Boy. And he said, heard somebody's looking for a fight. What do you guys think? Take my talents to welterweight and take on the boy? Comment and let me know if you get excited about this for Showtime. Love this. For the fans. I'm in there. Fuck it. What else do you want from Pettis? You want him to climb the ranks? No. I want him to see him some fun-ass fights, some good fights. Pettis versus McGregor. Pettis versus fucking Wonder Boy. I'm in there. Let's go. I like that from Pettis. If he wants to move up to welterweight, let's see it. And like I said, I think he'll actually bring the fight to Wonder Boy. If he gets stopped, he gets stopped. It'll be a good fight. It'll be a fun fight. And if he wins, that'll fucking blow your mind. Kind of like when Amanda Nunes knocked out Cris Cyborg in 51 seconds. Holy shit, that blew my mind. Kevin Lee versus Pettis? I mean, shit. I almost like it. I feel like that's a good fight. That's a really good fight, Pettis versus Kevin Lee. But I really like this one as much. I feel like Kevin Lee, is going to be a really tough fight for Anthony Pettis. So would this. But, yeah. That's actually a really good fight the more I think about it, Quincy Pinola. I was going to say I like this one more, but actually, no. With Kevin Lee coming off that loss to Iaquinta, that actually sounds about right. That sounds about right. Kevin Lee versus Anthony Pettis. I would love that fight as well. But I wouldn't be mad at this one. This is another one. If they booked it, I'm not going to complain. If MMA says Anthony Pettis has gotten his ass whooped a little too much at this point. Stamina C says Wonder Boy will toy with Pettis. I think it'd be fun. What if he played with him like a fucking mouse or something, or like a cat playing with a mouse or something? Valentine T says full-time MMA Ben Lyon never snorted that picogram. He never snorted that picogram. Oh, snaps, who? You saying John Jones? I don't think he snorted a picogram either. I kind of go along with Chael Sonnen's thinking on that one. Kind of like the picogram is what's left in the system more than that's what was taken. Chiesa versus Wonderboy, says Pinola. Okay, that would be an interesting style matchup. Interesting to see how that played out. I like it. Went to Pinola on his matchmaker shit. I like both of those fights. Jay Skill says Lee would smash Pettis. That's how I felt, but man, after I quit to respect on his name, I think that'd be a good fight to get back on track, maybe for Kevin Lee. But what if you get what if you can't win? I think Kevin Lee wins that fight, but I do like it. Coming off that loss, I think it's a good one. But I also like this fight. Nate versus Gaethje. Oh, that even has a ring to it, Benji. Nate versus Gaethje, I'm in. That even has a ring to it. I'm sure people are going to come out with the Homer Simpson fucking lines and all of that. But Gaethje, he coming off that knockout over James Vick, man. And Gaethje's coming off a nice win. Nice knockout win. He deserves a little time off for sure. I can't wait for him to get back in there. Alexander Hernandez plans on completely murking Donald Cerrone at UFC on ESPN +1, guys. And I gotta admit, I kind of feel like I felt coming into this fight like I did going into Darren Till versus Donald Cerrone. I feel like if you're not already aware of how good Alexander Hernandez is, then you might be a bad night for Donald Cerrone. But this is the thing. What, is Donald Cerrone coming back to lightweight, or is Hernandez up at 150, up at 170? Because I did see these guys are fighting, and it's not even on the main card right now. I was starting to do my UFC on ESPN Plus predictions. I just started. It's not for 2 weeks, though. It doesn't happen till the 19th. But I was looking at the card, and I realized Donald Cerrone's not even on the main card against Alexander Hernandez. How is that fight under the radar? Greg Hardy versus Alan Crowder, whatever the fuck. I definitely can't wait to watch Greg Hardy fight. Should it be on the main card over Donald Cerrone? That's exactly like CM Punk on the main card over Alistair Overeem. Gregor Gillespie, Yancy Medeiros. Nope, that's not a better fight than Donald Cerrone versus Alexander Hernandez. Nope. Joseph Benavidez. Nope. Not Joseph Benavidez versus Dustin Ortiz. Rachel Ostovich versus Paige Van Zandt. Nope. Nope. Ian Kutaleba versus Glover. Nope. 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 Sorry. None of those fights are more main card worthy than Donald Cerrone versus Alexander Hernandez. So that's interesting. But on the prelims, I want to see, where is this fight taking place? Welterweight? Lightweight. Donald Cerrone's getting a return to lightweight. Okay, so that's interesting. Damn, man, Alex Hernandez is a fucking monster, you guys. Alex Hernandez is he's a monster, man. He kind of reminds me a little of Darren Till in the fact that he came in as a force to be reckoned with. I just think he's got actually more well-rounded skills. I think he's going to be a better wrestler than Darren Till, and he's shown he can knock motherfuckers out quick. So, I'll tell you this. I liked Mike Perry's odds. I mean, no, not Mike Perry. I thought Cowboy was going to beat Mike Perry. Yeah, Mike Perry had a chance, but I felt like Cowboy was the more well-rounded fighter. He should be able to win this one. I liked Cowboy in that one. Oh, no. I'm not looking at that one like this. This is a tough fight. This might be a quick night for Cowboy, guys. This could be a knockout in the first round. Could be. Now, also for Cowboy, he could fuck around and submit this dude. If he's not able to if Alex Hernandez doesn't knock Cowboy out, takes him down, Cowboys, we just seen him submit Mike Perry. He might come out there with his arm. So it's a great fight. But I'm going to be watching it fucking clinched up for Cowboy, if you know what I'm saying, because, boy, Alex Hernandez is a mother-trucking monster. You got Glover Teixeira, Ian Kutalaba, Paige Van Zandt fighting Rachel Ostovich. I don't know how I feel about this fight. Call me crazy. This chick was just in the headlines like 2 weeks ago for having like a broken orbital bone in some domestic violence disputes. So I'm sure she's healed up. But I'll just put it out here like this. If Rachel Ostovich got into a UFC fight 3 to 4 weeks ago and she got her orbital broken, do you think that she would be medically cleared to fight by a commission? So maybe the injuries were less than the headlines made it, I guess. But, I mean, the report said she had a broken orbital. And it's not like, you know, and if she had a fight with a female fighter, it would have been with another fucking 125-pound fighter last week. Allegedly, supposedly, it was like her fucking husband, who I'm sure is not 125 pounds, and he allegedly, supposedly broke her orbital. So for one, should she be cleared to fight? And for two, if Paige Van Zandt wins, okay. Like, I guess you got back on the winning track. But, like, I guess for the casual fans, it won't matter that don't know much. But, like, I'm not going to be super, like, and it's not against Paige Van, it's not her fault. But I just can't be super impressed with this win if you beat a girl who's got, like, a healing orbital. I would imagine she's going to be a little hesitant in this fight. Maybe not. Maybe she's just some crazy badass. I don't know. Just interesting. You can't put much stock. What I'm saying, you can't put much stock. If Paige Van Zandt wins, you can't put much stock in it. If Rachel Ostovich wins, she's tough and bad as hell. But still, you beat Paige Van Zandt. It's, you know, for your casual stock, it'll probably be crazy, but just not much here for a hardcore fan. This isn't much of a fight for the hardcores. And I don't think it ever was in the beginning, right? Now that it never was. This was always a fight between two of the, you know, beauty queens. From the very beginning, when they said it was ESPN Plus debut, and they talked about Paige Van Zandt versus Rachel Ostovich from the very beginning, a long time ago they were working on this fight. I'm talking months ago. There was fucking a month ago at least, a couple months ago, there was rumors of and reports of this fight. Paige Van Zandt came out and denied it a little bit around the same time, like Wonder Boy. You know, they were talking about Wonder Boy versus Robbie Lawler too. They both came out and kind of had to do, maybe they denied it. UFC wasn't ready to announce it, whatever. Paige Van Zandt denied the fight. Here it is. But they've been working on this fight. Rachel Ostovich, Paige Van Zandt, like I said, neither one of them are in here for the fighting skills. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they both have skills. They're both fighters. But that's not why they're on the main card over Donald Cerrone and Alex Hernandez. You know, that's a great fight. Shit, I mean, ain't got to beat around the bush. They got no sponsors loose. You know what I'm saying? Both these bitches are bad. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. It's a beauty pageant here. You know what I'm saying? So definitely something to watch and a good first impression, I would think. But yeah, Joseph Benavidez, Dustin Ortiz, that's a good fight, but it's going on at flyweight, and this whole division is in limbo. Joseph Benavidez, I'm just not ever going to pick against him, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I don't see many flyweights on the level of him. Unless he's on an off night, you're not beating him. Unless your name's Demetrius Johnson or Henry Cejudo, I'm not picking you against Joseph Benavidez. He's one of the best flyweights in the world, and that's just case closed. So I got him in this fight, but what's even going on with this division? Gregor Gillespie versus Yancy Medeiros. I mean, I just think he should probably just change his name, just temporarily. I think it might, you know, more. You probably, if that's your real name, you don't want to do that. But you just put Mick in front of it, McGregor, Gillespie, fuck around, can confuse the casuals, a little bit of clout up, change it back. You know, no one ever knows. Maybe not. This is going to be a good fight, though. Gregor's a fucking phenomenal wrestler, though. I mean, this dude's wrestling seems, it almost, you know, seems like he should be ranked higher than the top 15. Yancy Medeiros was in, like, that fight of the year, potentially with Cowboy Cerrone. I thought it was one of the fights of the year. Been in a lot of epic fights recently. So he definitely deserves to be on this card, and he's fighting to get back in the rankings here against Gregor. Tough matchup, great fight here. Greg Hardy versus Alan Crowder. Greg Hardy making his official UFC debut a couple weeks during the NFL playoffs, low-key. If I wasn't back to watching the NFL, I probably wouldn't even have knew what the playoffs was kicking like that. The playoffs start this weekend. Wild card weekend and shit going on. And this card goes on in 2 weeks. So, probably, I don't know, around the time of, like, the, you know, AFC, NFC championship game. Great time for Greg Hardy. The Panthers, are they in the playoffs? They didn't make the playoffs. Panthers, they didn't make the playoffs. I was going to say, damn, did the Panthers make the playoffs? I know Greg Hardy used to play for the Panthers. Who else did he play for? He played for the Cowboys. Oh, shit, the Cowboys are in the playoffs. That helps him out if they can stick around. Yo, the Cowboys play in the playoffs. And he used to play for the Cowboys and shit. And they're in the fucking playoffs, but they might not make it past the first round. So, I mean, that might not mean shit. That's just pretty crazy because I'm thinking about the NFL playoffs. Greg Hardy fighting Henry Cejudo, TJ Dillashaw going on in the main event. This is a champ versus champ fight, and it's not on pay-per-view. That's very rare. Looking forward to that one as well. That's going on April 19th. The NW says agreed, but Ostovich has more experience and slightly better all-around MMA game. Holy shit, I just remembered Vishev called out PVZ once. Haha, imagine. Oh, man. That was, yeah, she was ready to fucking build her name on her. She wanted to show, man, that would have been like, that could have been like some Priscilla Cachoeira shit. You know what I'm saying? For real. Jay Skill says Khabib said no to Tony Ferguson. Well, that really bites. Damn, he did. And that's one of those situations, man. It sounds good, you know. Khabib, no, I'm gonna show Conor humble. I'm not gonna give him, when I get the belt, I'm not even gonna let him fight me for the belt first. I'm gonna fight the #1 contender first, and then after I beat him, no rematch. Make him humble. You know what I'm saying? #1 contender. It's not about the money, man. Once you win that belt, does everything fucking change? Ain't no Ferguson. We ain't talking about Ferguson right now, man. You know, you probably Poirier. Yeah, good luck. Bro, what happened? The whole humble thing, dog. You're still humble and shit, but first you said because you were gonna make Conor humble because you're the guiding example. You're the shining example of humble, right? So you go back on that. You do give Conor the first fight, but still, then Mr. Humble jumps over the cage like a fucking madman, and I get it. I guess Artem waved you on. But you're humble. You're the level-headed one. What the fuck are you doing? And now, we ain't sounding too hyped up to fight Tony Ferguson. We're going around meeting all the millionaires, making the money, whatever. Floyd Mayweather talk. What the fuck happened? What happened? Kind of makes you lose faith in someone becoming a champion and defending a belt against the #1 contender, because it's like, if Khabib switched up, who's not? Kind of makes you look at Tyron Woodley like, I guess he's just doing what the fuck everybody would do. Everybody, including even someone like Khabib. He wants the biggest fight. The difference is he's able to get it for whatever reason, political or what. All right, we're gonna. Khabib's gonna be out for a while. Whatever. We're still waiting to hear his suspension. Why ain't they suspended yet, bro? That was supposed to happen in December. How long is this suspension? Can we figure it out? I'm sure it's going to be after Ramadan. You might as well make the suspension look a little worse. I mean, and 2 birds with 1 stone, champions not fighting during Ramadan anyway. I mean, I don't know, man. But I just, man, that's unfortunate. I just feel like Khabib's not the same, you know, as the champion. I think it's up to now. It's a money thing, like it is with everybody. You know, GSP, Conor McGregor. We're gonna start playing the stock market, biggest risk. You know, yeah, it'll sound good. They'll probably say Poirier. They'll probably say Ferguson, but it's probably not gonna happen. Meanwhile, Whittaker and Nunes are just chilling. Whittaker's actually on the Ultimate Fighter show. Nunes definitely chilling. Robert Whittaker's gonna be fighting Gastelum. That's already pretty much a sealed, signed, done deal. They're fighting, and they already know what pay-per-view. Ain't it at UFC like 233? They're fighting next. He's fighting Gastelum. They coach tough, not Whittaker. But Rose definitely chilling. But she's healing up her neck, and, you know, Andrade is a motherfucker. Black Cat full-time, are you single? No, Black Cat. New to the channel much? That must be motherfucking Stewie in here, dog. Whittaker fights next month, says Stamina MC. Yeah, in Australia. He's definitely not just chilling. Bob Cratch says the UFC overall is in chaos. I wouldn't be surprised to see it bust this year as Hollywood decides to sell it off. Where's my man, Israel A. Gidong? He said delete. UFC followed by obsolete. He used to say that shit like that's all he knew how to say. And boy, motherfucking prophet. And Ali and Ferguson don't like each other. And by the way, how did he say it? Oh yeah, and by the way, fuck Tony Ferguson. That nigga's crazy. Oh shoot. Jay Skill says I'm really waiting to see the Karate Hottie. It's interesting to see who she fights next. Alright, let's move on though. A couple more things to talk about. Alex Hernandez plans on completely murking Donald Cerrone. Like I said, man, he's got a chance. Hernandez is a fucking beast. If you don't know about Hernandez yet, hey, yeah, it's one of I could go on it. This dude's he's talented. I mean, he seems to, the drive is there, the motivation's there, the mentality's there, the team is there. He's got a lot of the recipes that it takes to be a fucking great, a champion. This guy's got a lot of real potential here. Keep your eye on Alex Hernandez because this motherfucker is talented. Donald Cerrone is too, but I just don't see Alex Hernandez losing this fight. This man is dangerous. He should probably be fighting a higher ranked guy. I mean, this is real. This dude is real, man. This is a tough fight for Cerrone. He said, there are just forces on my side that are bigger than me. This is the type of shit that he says that it's so convincing it almost creeps me out. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? He's like, this isn't about me. This is bigger than me. We're here on a mission. I'm like, who, dog? He's like, this isn't even about me. This is bigger than me. I'm like, what the fuck? What? Never heard a fighter talk like this. You're in here getting your shit smashed and punching people in the fucking face, just taking damage, giving damage, being a fucking warrior, and it's bigger than you? Bro, you're a fucking beast already. This dude got a fucking knockout in his UFC debut over a ranked opponent. He's talking about this is bigger than me. I was meant here to be here to do this. This is nothing. This is just one step in the path. Dude, you should be fucking going crazy. You should be going crazy. You just fucking knocked this dude out short notice, OAM, and then he wouldn't be OAM in Canada. This motherfucker's a beast. And he's not even motivated or fazed by what he just did. You're in the UFC fighting fucking ranked dudes, cleaned him up in the first round, and this shit is bigger than you? God damn. That's motivation and drive that's unreal. He reminds me of like a fucking Marine or like someone in the fucking Navy just dead set on their goal. Ain't no celebrating, ain't no playtime, don't make jokes type motherfucker. No sense of humor. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I ain't got time to laugh. It's all I got time to do is focus on whooping that ass. That's Alex Hernandez. Beast, bro. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I just feel like I'm not. It's kind of like the Kayla Harrison, Aaron Pico. It's not like I fucking have a vested interest in these people. I'm looking at what they're doing and what they've done in their past and the potential, and I'm like, this is the real deal. Alex Hernandez is a monster, man. Real tough fight for Cerrone. He might do some merking at ESPN +1. He said, there's just forces on my side that are bigger than me. I keep saying that shit. I'm just a vessel filling in. But I couldn't be more excited to put an emphatic stamp on ESPN, the UFC, and MMA just completely murking Cerrone. Just completely murking Cerrone. Dude, this shit's huge. He said, yeah, why the fuck me? He said, I don't know, but I'll take it to the bank. You know, as far as why he's got these opportunities. He said, the UFC is laying down Persian silk linen and spreading its legs for me right now, and they're letting loose all those pheromones, and I'm in it. I'm definitely taking full advantage of it. So he's talking, they're asking, you know, you're getting a little special privilege from the UFC. Do you feel like, you know, you're getting big ranked opponents, and now they're giving you an older Donald Cerrone to help kind of, you know, you win this fight. It's a very winnable fight. That's a big win. Why do you think the UFC's giving you this opportunity? You know, they didn't just throw, they gave him to Darren Till. They didn't give him to Usman. You know, this Kamaru Usman didn't get to fight Cerrone. You know Cerrone's willing to fight anybody. So if you're the UFC and you want to use Donald Cerrone, which seems kind of fucked up, but to help build some up-and-coming stars, you kind of get to choose who he fights, because you know Donald Cerrone's not going to say no. So if you want to help build Darren Till, all right, Cerrone, you might win. We still fuck with you, Cerrone, but maybe Till wins. I don't know how you can convince me you're a friend of Donald Cerrone and you're booking him against Alex Hernandez. I'll tell you that much. I don't want my fucking friend to... If I'm friends with the matchmaker or my company, don't book me against that guy, please. I got y'all back. I'll go anywhere, fight anyone, anytime. I go to fucking Gdansk for you guys and fight Darren Till, this undefeated fucking stud for you. You would think the least you could do for me is not put me up against fucking Alex Hernandez. Can I fight fucking Diego Sanchez? This guy just called me out. Can I fight Diego? This motherfucker's over there at my gym training with Mike Perry. I got some beef with this motherfucker. You gonna put me in here against Alex Hernandez and not even put me on the main card? Yeah, some fucking friends you guys are. That ain't looking out for Donald Cerrone. Hell no. But it is looking out for Alex Hernandez. And, oh, man, I don't want to do this, man. This is probably why I'm fucking shadow banned. I don't want to do this, but I'm just fucking chopping it up with the full-time family. This is that shit that you gotta question, man. Like I said, you look at Alex Hernandez, you don't question his drive. You just phenomenal. So much potential. But I am, man, I don't even do this, you guys. I don't question nobody. But I think if there's any time to be able to question anything about USADA, it's probably now with this whole Jon Jones shit going on. So now, fuck it. Let's talk about the eye test. Because a lot of people don't pass it. And by the way, I'm still kind of waiting to see what happens with Paulo Costa because one of his homies snitched on him. There was a video that surfaced of Paulo Costa in a motel room allegedly, potentially using an IV. Mark Hunt, I think, was one of the people that might have retweeted it. Yoel Romero damn sure retweeted that video like, what the fuck's going on here? And you notice Paulo Costa ain't fighting anytime soon. He was supposed to be fighting at the beginning of the year. Oh, I think he said he got injured. Interesting. Because USADA's not going to come out and tell us when somebody gets flagged anymore. And that video came out, and now Paulo Costa can't fight, but it's an injury. So now, if you're a fighter and you get popped, you just don't have to tell anybody. You can just say you got injured. And no one will ever know, I guess, until you fight again. It's just going to go under the rug. That's so weird. So weird. With the fact that USADA doesn't announce who fails drug test anymore. And now the whole Jon Jones thing. But I brought that up to fucking say, you have to question any fighter that gets special privilege or special treatment. Now, if there's a fighter that you think gets special treatment in the UFC, Jon Jones, oh, well, you see, he gets to fight with this shit in the system. And he's one of the UFC's favorites. So maybe if the UFC, just think about it. If no one else gets to cheat and the UFC wants, someone's a star, like, who's someone that's really marketable? Like, let's say fucking Paige Van Zandt. If the UFC wanted to just make her a star and they thought people would believe it, couldn't they just let her fucking have picograms of shit in her system and fucking beat all these girls up, become champion, and on level playing field? I mean, it's just on a basic level kind of how you, I kind of like see it. It's like, man, you got to kind of question it. But like I said, it's just picograms, so it wasn't enough and yada yada, and you'd probably have to snitch on somebody first. So nobody else is probably going to get the Jon Jones treatment. But I will say this. I mean, Alex Hernandez is a monster. He came into the UFC knocking motherfuckers out that are ranked. The UFC's laying fights out for him. He's acknowledged it. He's getting a good look that a lot of fighters don't get. And so you got to wonder, you know what I'm saying? He's getting some special privileges. What is it? And then saying shit like, this is bigger than me. There's forces on my side that are bigger than me. Like maybe the UFC. Maybe, okay, let me stop. Maybe USADA. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe God. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? My team. You never know, but I don't know what he's talking about. But I mean, definitely one of them could be the UFC matchmaker as far as just getting these nice pairings. And those first two fights are super tough. Olivier Albin Mercier in Canada is not an easy matchup. I think the fact that he passed these tests and he did it so impressively, that might get you some favor. But still, he's only 3 fights into the UFC and he's getting Cowboy. So that's, I know there's a lot of fighters that would like to fight Cowboy, but it's really up to the UFC. He said, God bless him, but let's turn our attention to what's going to carry the city at this point. And humbly speaking, that's going to be me. So he's from San Antonio, he's saying. Talking about the Spurs. So he thinks he's going to be the one to carry San Antonio, Texas. Hey, he might be. We will see. With that being said, though, Alex Hernandez is a fucking beast. I'm telling you, keep your eye on him. This is not a good fight for Cerrone. If Cerrone wins, it's going to be very impressive. But I think this is one of those spots where Alexander Hernandez could come in here and make quick work of Donald Cerrone. So we will see. Suspended ex-champ Fabricio Werdum wants out of his UFC contract, and you could imagine if you're currently suspended by USADA right now, you're probably feeling pretty shitty about this whole Jon Jones situation. Like, So you're telling me I'm sitting on my ass, can't make a living, and John Jones is still fighting. Yeah, can I get out of my fucking contract and go to Bellator now? Fabricio Werdum says, of course I love fighting in the UFC, but after this complication, this doping that I found unfair, I'd like to see it, or I'd like to fight in other events. What I like to do right now is be free, for the UFC to have the consideration with me to release me. There isn't a possibility of going to Bellator. If I had the opportunity to say, and I have said to the UFC, I will sign a term saying that I won't fight in the UFC anymore. I'd only fight abroad, Japan, Russia, Europe, wherever it was. Like, he's like, damn, bro. Like, I know we're not employers, and I know I know I'm an independent contractor, but actually, while I'm under this contract, I can't do shit, and I'm suspended. I can't do anything. So he's even offering, I won't fight for your biggest competitor. I won't fight any of your U.S. competitors. Just let me fight overseas. Fuck it. I'll go to Risen. Let me go to Japan. Somewhere. Fabricio Werdum, who has he's got a history, I feel like more of a global MMA history in the sense that he fought for Strikeforce and fought in Japan and a lot of these places and had a resume outside the UFC before ultimately coming to the UFC, becoming the champion. He already was a name when he beat Fedor and upset Fedor. Like, people knew about Fabricio Werdum, considered one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Now, with that being said, he said, I won't even go to Bellator. Let me go to, like, fucking Risen, bro. But right now, I can't make no money. So, he said, I just like to be free to do what I want to do, which is fighting. That's it. I don't want anything else. Like I said, it's not about money. I still have a lot to show. I know I do. I'm 41, but I feel like a kid. I have no serious injuries. I'm doing good physically. It's the end of his career. Like, I only get to fight for a couple more years. With this suspension, when I come back, I might not even be able to feel this good. So I want to fight. And it's the end of my fucking career. I mean, on the surface, I would, yeah, man, let him go. Let him fucking go. He can't fight for you. Release him from the contract. He said he'll sign something that, I mean, come on. Why not, right? But if you're the UFC and you got him under contract, you got the leverage, you might just say no. We want to fight. We don't want you to fight for them. But maybe now if you're one championship, or maybe if you're Risen, maybe you can talk to the UFC, because now they can negotiate, make trades. Maybe you could trade Fabricio Werdum or some shit, and they'll let him fight. I wonder how that would work. What if the UFC, like, could just trade all of their fighters that popped to, like, Risen? Like, oops, you guys can have Fabricio. I guess we'll trade you Fabricio for somebody. He can't fight over here. You guys don't care. That'd be fucking crazy. Like, they just own every fighter that popped. Like, oh, we know he's going to Risen. That would be so crazy. He said, I think there should be equal rights. The same rule for everyone and not change the rules for some. For Americans or Russians or Brazilians. I think there should be the same rule for everyone. He's saying maybe John Jones, he's thinking maybe John Jones got that special treatment because he's American. I don't know. He said, I think John Jones, I don't think Jones is to blame. He's there to fight. He trained what he had to train, returned after 2 years. But I think the system really makes it happen when they want to. The system wants something to happen, so it'll happen. Many people blamed him, but it's not his fault. He's there to train. The fault, the way I see it, is the systems. So he's saying if they want to get you, they can get you. If they want to pop you, they can pop you. I mean, maybe that's how he sees it. So, I mean, either way, I'm not mad with UFC. I mean, with Fabricio wanting his release, I mean, if you're him, you could definitely see why he would want it. And I think it's fair that he's offering, hey, I won't go to Bellator. I think that's completely fair to ask for your release. You're not going to Bellator, okay. And that is actually the last topic for the show, guys. So, Black Cat says, are you going live tomorrow? Tomorrow, Saturday, there's no fights. I'll potentially be live. Got some playoff football in the morning. But, yeah, I'll probably go live in the evening. I mean, for sure. I don't work tomorrow. I worked the last 2 days. Clayton Funky says, UFC is for-profit sports. All major sports are dirty in some way. UFC not the exception. You're probably onto something. And oh man, no one talks about that elephant in the room. John Jones' brothers, at least one of, has failed a drug test in the NFL, won championship. I mean, does that mean anything, or do we still not think there's any re-ingestion, or do you guys not, look, is that all in a vacuum, or what's going on? How deep do we investigate these things? Oh yeah, never mind. It's the substantial assistance thing. Jay Skill says, I did once saw an interview years ago to Benji. Amanda straight up lying, says Jorge 1. Oh, yeah, we talked about this a little bit earlier, saying she has no power at all. No power at all is ridiculous. And the 2 years for a rematch almost seems a little ridiculous. I think Amanda Nunes could play this better. You could say, she could say, I got no problem rematching her because I'll probably beat her again. But if the UFC don't want to give her a rematch, they don't want to give her a rematch. You could just put this on the UFC and not look like you're scared of the rematch. Because why would you be? But hey, maybe Amanda Nunes, it seems like from these comments, she's seeming like she might not want any smoke right now. For whatever reason. Is it because she thinks Cyborg would win the rematch? Is it because she don't like how the lead up to this fight was? Who knows? But it doesn't seem like, yeah, she's down for it. But yeah, man, with that being said, guys, that's it for the show. We'll go to UFC Yankovic and play a song to get out of here. But other than that, man, thank you guys for coming through today and checking out the show. If you haven't yet finished biting your bagel, do your boy a favor. Smash the thumbs up button like your middle name is Khabib and the thumbs up button's name is Conor McGregor. Oh, yeah, you heard it right. All right, guys, with that being said, it is what it is. Thank you, guys. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. We'll be back.
I done did a lot of drugs in my day, yeah I said it, but I'm still gon' kick your ass, Gustafson, I hope you ready. When I got into the crash, I ain't know the bitch was pregnant, but they treat me like a murderer, so motherfucker critic. Bitch, I'm ready to fight, and we can fight till the death. I'll hit your ass with the right, then with the right and the left, then kick you right in the chest, and have you fighting for breath, and then I'll turn the pressure up when you would try to get rest, leave you no time to adjust. Daniel, I'm coming for the title, so quit hiding your necks, because I'm right at your neck. Yeah, you can try and fight Lesnar, but when you fight him, what's next? That's right, I'm the best. At UFC 232, I'll get my title instead.